I got swatted at the Trump rally.
It's like you go to these businesses to stream and you're leaving like a path of wreckage.
Just destruction.
Behind you.
Homeless people that like have had shit in my house during a swatting.
Wait, why do you have homeless people in your house when you're getting?
Because I make stupid ass content.
You were, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were a homeless heroin addict at one point in your life.
Yeah, I was actually.
18?
By 19, I was a full-blown heroin addict.
Easy.
I used to panhandle in front of the Rock and Roll McDonald's in Chicago. That was one of my spots.
It's a nice McDonald's.
It's beautiful McDonald's. I was making $300 a day some days panhandling.
Really?
Dude, I was a beast.
Do you remember what your like peak day was? Like highest income?
Yeah, I got like $1,000 in one day.
And you were making enough to live out of the hotel too.
Yeah, I was selling heroin. I go to the blood pressure machine.
Oh my God.
I put that on my arm, I go, and then I go to do it, and then the nurse walks in again, and I freak out, and I throw the needle on the ground. So we're riding around with a bunch of guns and drugs in Chicago, and then I see the cops pulling up right there, so they're still in the car, I have the dope in my hand, and I just start shoving it in my ass as fast as I can.
Penetration?
Yeah. 3 2-year sentences ran concurrently.
That's horrible.
With boot camp.
You were supposed to fight Brandon Herrera, weren't you?
Yes.
You had a little dispute with Amaranth.
It wasn't a dispute.
She described you as a
Yeah, I don't want to get this channel demonetized.
It's all right. You know, we could just bleep stuff.
They were
Smoking Pookie.
They
Yeah.
were
Oh,
shooting
lit.
evidence.
Can't really hide. If you're doing IRL streaming, there's no way to hide where you're going.
No.
So
And all it takes is one person to like recognize anything, and that's just it.
And what do they do? Like,
They'll call and say that there's a like I just murdered my family or something like that, or like they'll say like there's a gun on us, or that we're threatening someone with a gun.
and this is just everywhere you go. That doesn't matter.
Dude, everywhere. That's just honestly why I don't like leaving the house.
Mm-hmm.
I got swatted at the Trump rally.
What happened?
Cop handcuffed me and I got detained by the Secret Service.
At the Trump rally?
Yes.
Oh, Secret Service pulling up on you is kind of sketchy too. Like, that's serious, dude. Is there anything you don't want to talk about before we get into it?
Whatever.
You seem like a pretty open book.
Dude, yeah. Man, chill over here, dude. Way chill out.
Yeah, I was watching your No Jumper episode this morning, and on the way here, it was like the perfect opportunity. Dude, the whole highway got shut down because some dude his shit up, you know.
Right.
So I was stuck for an hour just listening to the No Jumper episode.
Nice.
It was perfect.
I tried. That was my
I couldn't
first
imagine
one.
being swatted 50 times though. I've never been swatted.
Oh yeah, dude. And then when it's not swatting, what they'll do, I didn't even include this, is like they'll say it's a wellness check. So now they don't come in guns blazing, but there's 4 police at my door now.
And they're thinking you're about to like
But
hurt
yeah,
yourself
but
or
this is the part
something.
I don't understand. Like, just open the stream up, dude. Like, I've told them that many times.
And they just don't work with you on that? Like
No.
they don't give a fuck?
No, they
Damn.
won't listen. And the police are very undertrained. Like, to where I was when I got swatted in DC, I talked to the police chief or one of the high end detectives there, and I was like, he was like, I'm gonna try to get you in contact with a guy with the FBI, and I'm like, he even admitted like we're way behind. Like, most police departments don't know how to handle it. Like, I mean, the one at the Trump rally was crazy. Like, that guy needs to get caught. Like, I don't understand. Like, dude, my life is at play. Like, my life is at stake, dude.
Yeah. Sure, it's nuts that people can just freely make prank calls to the cops.
It should be like a 10-year sentence minimum. Like, what?
You see every now and then in the news, they'll like make an example out of one of the people who does it. You know?
Yeah.
But like they don't ever stop it.
A lot of the guys are from overseas too, which makes it hard. Some of the guys aren't even in America doing it. That's what makes them tough.
Do you know who's doing it to you?
No. I have an idea of like the group.
Do you think it's a certain group of people doing it?
It was a certain group, but then like it's not just them. And like not everyone, like I said, not everyone is calling in as a SWAT saying I'm gonna murder someone, but they'll be like, we'll be at a restaurant and they'll just say like, there's a guy in your store with a bomb, or like there's a guy.
And they'll describe you.
Yeah, they'll describe me, and then I'm just like, or they'll start review bombing it, or people will, dude, it gets so crafty. They'll go to my Discord, and this happened at a BJ's. They'll go to the Discord and they'll post the address of it, and I have like an active Discord, and all of a sudden it'll start getting review bombed. Oh, and then they'll call the store after it gets review bombed and tell someone. And then they'll say that I'm the guy doing it.
So
yeah.
It's almost like you go to these businesses to stream and you're leaving like a path of wreckage
just destruction
behind you.
And it's like a part of me feels bad because it's like, okay, if you subtract me, none of this is happening.
Yeah.
But then it's like, dude, I have a job to do. I have to leave my house. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you're streaming, it makes you kind of a natural target for that kind of shit because they get to see your reaction, which is really why they're doing it.
Yes.
Have you ever tried anything to like deter people from doing it?
Honestly, I just lean into it more now because I just don't. And now they finally don't come. Like now they'll call me or they'll try to confirm.
You've mastered it.
I guess.
Mastered the art of getting
like they come to my house like 50 different times.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how many times. Just alone at my most recent one.
Is there like what was the point where it was most frequent? How often was it happening to you?
The Miami house.
How often?
Every day.
Literally every day?
They would get calls every day. The police.
Was there any point where the cops were like, "Hey, we're showing up here every day and nothing's happening"? Like,
that's what you would think it is, but like I guess like I said, the laws are just out of place. They're outdated because it's like a newer crime. So
For
when
sure.
the laws are being made, there wasn't cell phones or anything like that. So there's nothing that they could even like do. Basically,
passing a new law takes like 100 years too.
I think they're finally like trying to like make it to where it's like they can't even abuse the wellness call. Like that's what they're trying to do because that's how people are getting around it now.
Yep.
Because if the cop is undertrained and if it's a wellness track, they're basically going in there with intent, not intent, but they're not assuming something good is happening.
For sure,
it's the same thing.
It's
basically
a bad situation to put you in.
And then if like somebody has weed, like I'm saying, like Texas, like I said, Texas is like not fully like decriminalized or whatever. So like if someone has weed or what, I don't something they shouldn't have, it just escalates it. Like I've been around like homeless people that like have had shit in my house during a swatting. Dude, I've had the stupidest shit happen.
Wait, why do you have homeless people in your house when you're getting swatted?
Because I make stupid ass content, man.
We're actually pretty soon going to get a homeless guy on the show because he's a super interesting guy that, one of our good friends here knows.
Guys.
But like, what kind of content do you do with homeless people? Like,
I threw a homeless party. We like got close with one of my homeless guys named Henry. Yeah.
That sounds lit.
Yeah, it was actually a lit time. It was a good time.
Describe the party, like how to play out.
I had like 7 or 8 homeless. I had like 8 to 10 homeless people in my house, and we were all like, it played out really well.
And you guys just partied
we were
all
partying,
night, getting
we were
lit?
Drinking, doing other stuff. They were doing other stuff.
Yep, stuff that maybe you can't talk about.
I don't want to get this channel demonetized.
It's all right, we could just bleep stuff. Okay. I mean, they could have been.
They were shooting
lit.
at it. No, they're for sure. Though.
Just like on stream. Or would they at least step off?
Yeah, no, they would have gone on camera.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I was thinking like, damn, you can do that on Kick?
No. Definitely not. There's rules on Kick.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys are probably wondering what the going on. We've just been kind of chatting for a little bit.
Yeah, I forgot that
we're back with the Gobcast, yo. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You guys know the drill by now. Sub if you haven't already. Like if you haven't already. If you haven't done either, what the hell are you doing? We have a very special guest today. We have someone who's from a very similar area to me. You're from Vernon Hills, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm from Aurora.
No way.
Yep. So only like an hour south.
No way.
So we grew up in a very similar area, yep.
I know.
But we have a very, very interesting and controversial Kick streamer in the house. We got Action Man. You're much more than a streamer, though, because you got a lot of lore behind you.
There is lore.
Now, for someone who's watching this that's maybe never seen your content before, how would you describe yourself to them?
That was a pretty good question. I would say that, well, I've been doing this 8 years, so I go in phases. I mean, I would describe myself as unique or interesting.
What do you think it is that makes you that way?
I like to feel like that I'm very good at a multitude of things. And I always used to pride myself on my work ethic. You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah. That was a tough one because like it goes in phases because I've been doing this so long. When I first started streaming, I was like a rage guy, and I would break shit.
So your content was just like,
dude, but like
clip
it was
farming.
Like, but I was like, I actually have anger problems.
Oh, so it like, wasn't clip farming. Like you were really pissed off.
Oh no, like there was a couple times where I elbowed my desk so hard that like I had to go to a doctor and I lost feeling in it and like it was tingly.
Oh my god!
I've probably broken over like 200 monitors. I'm not even. I've probably spent. This is when I wasn't even making that much money. I probably spent like $20,000 on equipment.
What was on the monitor that pissed you off so bad?
I was just freaked. I punched a camera, hit from playing Fortnite and Halo.
Oh my, not
more Fortnite,
dude.
You don't even know. Like I have 30,000 hours of time streamed Fortnite. Probably.
What?
Yeah.
That's a load of Fortnite.
Yeah, that's what like led me here to this point in my life was Fortnite. was a lot of destruction.
You listen. One of the things that I think the main reason I wanted to get you on the show is honestly your story with drug addiction.
Yeah.
Because before you ever started streaming, you were, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were a homeless heroin addict at one point in your life.
Yeah, I was actually. I was actually I was in Cook County Jail 3 months before I moved in back with my mom, and then I went to jail again from getting arrested for selling heroin in a Bridgeview motel. In Bridgeview, and then I beat that case by like a miracle of God, and like even the judge like said it, like you got very lucky today. He had a Greek accent. You got very lucky today. But,
what was like the technicality that you got off on or something? Was it just a good lawyer you had?
I don't remember. I did have a lawyer, but I guess like they didn't have the police officer didn't want to show up because I threatened him because he basically illegally searched me. And I basically said that was an illegal search, and I was getting even while I was like nodding out, because I got arrested because I was like nodding out and like on a stairwell, like a retard, like an idiot. My bad.
You're good.
But
you can say retard on here.
All right, That's go.
Fine.
Like a retard. So then they came, they got me for that. Then I beat the case. Yeah, the cop didn't show up because he stuck his hand up my ass illegally.
Yeah,
illegally searched me, and then I he didn't show. I was in county jail for like a month. And
so he knew he fucked up.
He knew he fucked up.
Yeah.
He knew he fucked up. And then I wound up beating that case. And then I went. You think that would have been my lesson? That was my 5th felony arrest.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I've been to prison twice.
Fuck.
Yeah. That was my 5th one. And if I wouldn't have beat that one, I would have been fucked. So I beat that one. And then you would have thought that would have been enough, but it wasn't. And then I went back out there to be homeless one last month. One last fucking no, it wasn't a month.
You were
it was
doing
2 weeks.
You were homeless in stints, it sounds like.
Yeah, it was stints.
Okay.
It was stints. But I probably was on the streets for like 4 years.
Fuck.
On and off.
That's a hard life, dude.
Yeah, it's not
That's a
fun.
hard life. And Illinois is a shitty place to be homeless,
Horrible.
dude. It's not like California.
No. That's why I said the homeless people here are so nice. Dude, like what?
Good weather. There's so many public programs here.
They're living better. They're living just near the equality of the fucking a lower class citizen almost.
For sure. Yeah.
Seriously.
I have some homies that aren't homeless back in Illinois that are living worse than the homeless guys out here. Like
For
the peak
sure.
homeless guys.
Like it's fucked up.
The alpha ones on the beach that got their little turf, they're living so good.
No,
dude.
they are. If you don't give a guy money, if you're homeless and you don't give a guy money in Chicago, you might get he might get mad. Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, God bless you.
They expect you to not give them money, dude.
Yeah.
They see 100 people that that pass them by, one is going to give them $1.
Right.
So they're used to it.
That's a low batting rate. I used to get it. I used to panhandle too. I used to do the same shit.
The Chicago ones press you, dude.
They'll
press follow you, dude. They'll get close and shit. They'll touch your shoulder like, you got $1?
I hate that city so much, man.
Really?
Hate it.
I miss it, dude. I miss it a lot. Why do you hate it?
I probably because I was hanging out on the west and south side, but
that'll do it. Yeah.
And downtown. I mean, I wasn't. I guess maybe my memory is somewhat tarnished from my addiction and the choices I made, but
for sure,
it's definitely not a safe city.
For sure, yeah. There's safe parts. I think if you mind your business,
safer parts.
It's safe.
You still wouldn't walk around after 10 p.m. there though. Anywhere, I feel like you could.
I mean, you could if you're in fucking Streeterville or some shit, Lincoln Park and shit.
Lincoln Park, you could do there.
That part of the city is what I miss.
Yeah.
Going to bar hopping there. So before any of your addiction stuff, what was growing up like in Vernon Hills?
Well, I grew up in Gurnee, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
And then by the 4th grade, I went to Woodland, and then I went to Libertyville High School, and I was staying in my mom's house in Green Oaks, which is Libertyville. And then when I was 14, my mom kicked me out, or 15, for smoking weed or whatever.
Oh shit!
It wasn't even smoking weed. No, my timeline's off. I wasn't even smoking weed. I was just a fucked up kid. I would do fucked up shit.
Like what kind of?
I would take shit. I would take a shit on the carpet, cover it with a hat. I would spray paint shit. I would paint shit.
How early did you start doing that kind of stuff?
12 years old. I would order Girls Gone Wild to my house. I thought it was so funny. I'm 11 years old doing this, 12.
Just terrorizing the whole household?
Terrorizing my whole family.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I'm the oldest of 4 kids.
Oh, and you were terrorizing them too.
Horribly. Especially my brother. My brother wound up being a bodybuilder later in life. And I know it was because of me. He just
just wanted to beat your ass.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck,
basically,
I know
he'll never admit it, but I know that's why.
Oh, fuck. So before you started really tearing it up at 11 or 12, you were a good kid before then? You know, like 6 years old.
Yeah,
good little kid.
I guess by default, my spawn was okay.
Bro, I knew some little Satan spawns, dude, back when I was in elementary school. Like the kids.
No, I wasn't one of those. I became fucked up around like 10.
Okay.
11.
Just something switched?
I don't remember. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm 35. I don't really remember that much.
You're 35? Yeah. You look young, bro.
Really?
Oh, you look mad young. Like, I honestly would guess you're probably like 10 years younger than
That's
that.
what I get. That's
like
what I get.
mid-20s?
I get mid-20s.
Yeah. I'm 26, and I'd guess you're like my age. You know,
it helps me blend in.
Yeah, stay low key. You know, stay fresh.
Yeah, something like that.
So you start kind of tearing it up at 11 or 12. Getting kicked out at 14 is pretty fucking young, though.
Yeah, no, it was just fucked up because like my mom didn't know what to do. Like, my parents got divorced when I was 12, so my dad moved out to the townhouse in Vernon Hills.
Okay.
And then I went to live with him around 13 or 14 into a brutal World of Warcraft addiction.
Oh, fuck.
And this is when the game was lit.
What expansion was that?
No, this is Vanilla WoW.
Oh, shit.
This is when the game first came out. And it was
I
like
was
the
too
game,
young for that
yeah,
shit, dude. I was too young for that shit.
I'm telling you that this game was fucking 10, 15 years ahead of its time. It's still played to this day. That just tells you.
Dude, I played Vanilla Classic recently.
Imagine playing that in 2004.
Yeah. Oh my god.
3. Dude, you were so fucking addicted.
I'm genuinely jealous.
You were in the Ventrilo server. You were fucking grinding the High
Discord.
Warlord. Dude, no, there's no
Skype
Discord.
yet.
No,
like it was fucking.
It was Ventrilo.
I don't even think it was TeamSpeak at that point yet.
TeamSpeak had just came out.
Brand new.
That
was the fucking tech. Turn this ring shit off, dude. Fucking unbelievable. Damn. So you got hooked on WoW,
dude. Bad.
Real bad.
Or good.
Was that the first thing that you say you got real addicted to?
Dude, listen, I'll recreate it. I was in a lazy boy.
Okay.
It was literally like the South Park guys had to get witnesses on there because it's so spot on. I was sleeping in the chair, in the lazy boy chair, with like this, with the laptop on my lap. Like people would have like multiple people on their accounts to like level them up to level 60 and try to get High Warlord. I got High Warlord by myself, and I was the #1 ranked player on Nathrezine PvP in 2004.
Oh, fuck.
I beat everyone.
So you were literally a no life.
Oh,
like
dude, I fucking basically dropped out of school for a year and a half.
Yeah,
2 years to do that.
I mean, in vanilla, you had to get that kind of shit done.
Had to.
Like even the top level raids and shit. For those guys who don't play this game and don't understand, you can't have a job. Like you can't. If you have a job, you suck at the game, dude.
Dude, I was sleeping 4 hours a day.
Yeah, the game is.
I was online 20 hours a day.
Hits like crack. So that's where your addictive personality kind of came out.
That maybe is where it started. I never thought about that because, like, I don't know when it's happening and you're that young. You're not really internalizing what's going on.
Yep. But that sounds like where it kind of.
Yeah, that seems like definitely like maybe like I realized like I like doing this or something like that. Yeah.
When'd you get high for the first time?
Dude, I was late 16.
Okay.
And we got it from a Burger King near my townhouse. And I remember, like, we smoked it out of an apple.
Fire.
I just remember, like, we were trying to give directions to some guy. And we kept saying, take a left, take a left. We were just so high. And it was, like, the funnest time ever.
Dude, the first time getting stoned is something else. It's something different.
You like, almost don't want them to, you don't want to do it because some people can't handle it just sticking with weed. It's a smaller percentage, but But it's just like, it is such an experience. It's just like, do you want to not like let someone have that you got? Because it's that like mythic and epic and shit like that.
So you got high at 16, got hooked on World of Warcraft even younger.
Yeah.
And you stopped going to school for, you said what, like a year and a half while you were playing WoW?
Yeah, then I went back and then let me get the talent right here. Then I went back and then I left again and then I just graduated at like a BD school.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So you still had a diploma?
Yeah, I got the Libertyville High School diploma, but I didn't really finish the last year there.
So then after you finish your high school, what's your plan? Like, what are you thinking you're gonna get?
I was addicted to heroin by I was 19.
It happened that fast?
Yeah, I mean you could just fucking
Oh shit! Okay, so
I was fucked up.
I mean, you got stoned late 16.
By 19, I was a full blown heroin addict.
That's quick.
By 19,
dude.
yeah.
That's really fast.
I tried heroin at late 17, early 18. I think it was like very early 18. Full blown heroin addict by 19.
That's like the fastest I've ever.
I was just speed running failure.
Why did it go so quick? Like what happened?
I don't know. I attribute it to I feel like when you're younger, you don't really know but looking back, I can, sort of figure this out. But it was definitely like, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I feel like that's a really hard thing for people, especially younger people. Probably more now because you get you can see it more with a follower count next to your name on social media. But there's you don't know what you want to do in life. And it was back in the day, so I graduated in 2008. It was just you didn't have an option to do YouTube, or you didn't have an option to be an Instagram model, or you couldn't network in Discord. You couldn't. It was a different world. It was a different world.
Still go to college.
Yeah,
get
go
a
to
job,
college.
It
was go to college.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't do that. It doesn't.
No, fuck no. I tried it for I got to through a half a semester.
Oh, so you actually
I threw on.
You tried it though.
Yeah, that's a very liberal way to put it. Yeah,
I did. I signed up for community college just to get my mom to stop yelling at me. I took 2 classes, and I showed up to each of them. I could probably count on my fingers how many times.
Dude, it's hell. It's just not for everyone.
For sure. So after you smoked weed the first time at 16, I mean, how quickly were you smoking weed every day after that?
Oh, basically every day.
And what was the next drug you tried?
Cocaine, drinking beer. I never liked alcohol, even though I know my newer following is gonna be like, well, you drink all the time. I don't. I literally didn't drink till my 30s, basically. Mm-hmm. So I was doing heroin, so I didn't really drink much. And then I started doing cocaine. I started taking pills. I didn't like really either. I liked them, but I could just pick them up and put it down. It wasn't anything.
Yeah.
And then I just tried heroin in the mix of that because I kept saying yes to every drug and walking away fine. So for some reason, my brain assessed that I could do heroin once.
Really?
It assessed wrong, and then it just was fucking, man, it was not good.
I mean, it's so crazy you describe this because, I mean, when I was younger, I was getting fucked up around the same age that you were getting fucked up.
Yeah.
And, for me and my friends, even when we were doing hella blow and eating way too much fucking Molly and, doing ketamine and all that stupid shit, we still, always in my head, I would try to limit myself. It sounds like you didn't really do that.
No. I don't know why. I always felt like I was smarter.
Yeah.
I guess. So, I just figured I could, because with heroin addiction, it happens fast, but, it's subtle, though. You'll just, it'll be maybe, an earlier weed kid will, they'll smoke weed one time, take a week break, month break. That's how it is. So, heroin, I try it for one day. I wait a month to do it. Wow, I forgot how good because that's what happened. I waited a month because I just didn't want to be a heroin addict because nobody wants to be one. And then after that, you'll wait 2 weeks, and then it's down to 1 week, and then you're doing it twice a week. Yeah. And then you're doing it 4 times a week, and then you do it 5 times a week.
You always break those barriers in your head.
And then one day you just try to stop, and then you wake up with a runny nose, and you realize you're fucking addicted to heroin. It's just fucking all bets are off. And you shoot it. Because I was snorting it at first. So then you'll shoot it one time, and then it's just fucked.
So when you're snorting it, I'd imagine I've never done heroin. That was on my opiates I never enjoyed, thank God.
Yeah,
it was always uppers for me, for sure.
I take uppers now legally. Adderall. I don't know why I did the quotes. I legally take it.
What's your prescription? I used to have one.
30 milligrams IR.
Oh, nice, nice. Those are the biggest ones they make, I think.
Absolutely.
Too, right? Yeah, those are the fat fuckers. How do you feel about the extendeds?
I don't like them. I think they are good for their own purpose. They're not good for the purpose that I need them to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to take a fuckload of Adderall when I was younger. I had a doctor who gave me the craziest script ever. I was prescribed to take a 30 milligram extended in the morning. Then I got home from school and I took a 20 instant. And then 4 hours later, I was prescribed another 20 instant. So I got 60, 20 instants.
This guy was Walter
30.
White, bro. What the fuck?
Bro, I had the craziest script ever in high school from this cracked out doctor who just wanted me cold sweating all day, I guess.
How did you sleep on that dose?
I didn't take it all. Oh. I took my morning dose to go to school and stay up because that was that. But the instance I sold to the AP kids and shit, The
really smart kids.
Those kids needed it for finals, dude. They'd hoard that shit.
No.
Damn, it's interesting to hear that you like Addy though. That's
now I do because I honestly, dude, it's a great drug when used correctly. It just is. I think it's like a miracle drug.
You use it just for its purpose.
Literally, yes. I literally don't believe I would be here today without Adderall.
Really?
I don't think I could have put in the hours that I would have needed to get the clips, to meet the people that I met, to go viral on Fortnite, to gain the following, to grow faster on Twitch at the time. And you guys got to remember too, this is from 2000. this timeline is from about 2008, the streaming world, 2018, actually 17 to mid-late 17 to like 2023 is what I'm talking about. So like the earlier years, it's nothing like how it is now. There was no clip farming, there was no collabs, there was no IRLs. Like you had to play a game.
Yeah, it's completely changed.
Nothing like it used to be. So people don't understand the concept of like, it's like, because I feel like I wasted a lot of time, and I basically did. I didn't for that time, but like if it could have been like, if I could have came up in this kind of atmosphere, it would have been way easier.
Dude, I tell people that all the time. People ask me like, how do you make it now? It's so hard. It's like,
you
bro,
don't.
Fucking 10 years ago it was harder.
Yeah.
For sure. I think it's easier now.
I think that's actually a pretty interesting take you have. I think it could be, it honestly depends on the content and the creator, I guess. But I'm saying like, because you do have more tools, so you technically
From
could.
streaming, I guess, totally different POV. Yeah.
True. That's a good point. We're talking about,
Yeah. I do YouTube primarily. So
I think YouTube is harder than streaming in terms of keeping the views and consistently doing it for years. We're like streaming people, you don't have to get as many viewers to make a career as you do views on YouTube to make a career, is what I feel like.
I feel like it's the opposite. That's interesting.
Well, it also depends on now there's Kick and there's others. So there's other way. Yeah. So that's a good point. That's actually a good take. I never thought about that. I guess it can go like either way. Obviously, if you're gonna make it right now, you're gonna have to be fucking good.
Yeah.
You're gonna be doing something that I'm gonna want to watch, or it's gonna be something that you're good.
Yeah. I think when I think of streaming, it's like, bro, maintaining a lot of viewers is fucking hard.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah,
because you don't get that passive like on YouTube. I can take a few days off and go do something, and my other videos are going to get me new viewers. On streaming, it's like, bro, if you're not live, how do you get new viewers?
That's the harder. It's harder in terms of that, where you have to be live. Now in 2025, you don't have to be live as much because of the integration of TikTok and YouTube
fucking
and
clip farming, man.
Clip farming and collabs. Because once again, you got to remember, it used to only be games. Like, even if you remember, like, the Fortnite Ninja era.
I remember when it was called Justin TV still.
Yeah. So, that was even before me.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't use it yet, but I remember, like, I was, like, fucking 13, 14, and Twitch was, like, brand new.
Yeah.
Like, that was the thing. But, yeah, I didn't stream or anything. I was, like, scared to stream.
Yeah. Looking back on it, I was putting a lot of hours into if I didn't have to do that today, I wouldn't have.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. It's always like, it's always easier to look back and be like, damn, I should have done this. But I mean, obviously you did something right. You know,
yeah, I mean, when I first started streaming, I just wanted to be a Halo 5 pro. That was my goal.
Yeah.
It wasn't even to be a streamer.
Halo 5 specifically?
Literally Halo 5. I was a Halo guy. That's what I started. I streamed Halo for like the first 2 years of my life.
What's your favorite Halo?
Career. I would say Halo 5 was my favorite.
Really?
Halo. I liked it better than Halo
Dude,
3.
I think you're the first guy on Earth
I am the first guy.
Like, this is a big Halo guy over here, too.
Obviously, I grew up playing Halo 2 and Halo 3. I would fucking stand by at Halo 2.
I loved Halo 3, man. That game was so good.
No, I literally had thousands of hours in those games. I'm saying Halo 5 because, to me, I like the faster Halo. I am a little biased where it helped me like get my foot in the door. I met a lot of great people from the Halo 5 community that helped me get to where I'm at today. You know what I'm saying? So I always remember them, and I wish Halo could have, the people that were running the game, it could have been better than what it is now.
Yeah, Halo is like a dead franchise now, right? Like
it's a disaster, dude.
Is there even a new Halo game on the way anytime?
I think so, dude. I think some like woke lady.
Oh shit!
I don't know. Maybe should I not say that? I don't know. She's like,
no, you could say that, dude. I mean, no one here gives a fuck, dude. Right. This is really a very
I'm just saying, like, dude, I'm not happy with it, bro. Like, I'm not happy with.
So what you think the next Master Chief's gonna be?
Because I put a lot of time. I would have been bigger than I am now if the game would have been more successful. I would have had an easier transition into Fortnite.
That makes sense.
I was going from 80 viewers to 22 viewers, then slowly back up to 66 viewers, 60 viewers.
Dude, imagine if streaming was around peak Halo 3 days. That would have been
lit.
Fucking, oh my God.
I mean, that's kind of what grew my following when I first started. I thought people were watching me because I was good, and I was really good at Halo. Yep. At the end, I was pro level for sure. You could ask like Shots, you could ask like Frosty and all them.
Really?
They'll tell you I was, at the end. But like, when I first started, I was dog shit. It had been a decade since I played games. So I was assuming that I was just like better than I thought, but it was because I have fucking anger problems. And dude, I was saying fucked up shit to like 20 viewers, and I didn't know. I couldn't say some things. I don't know how I never got banned, but I was saying like shit I could never say.
The game really brings it out sometimes, dude.
Dude, yeah, they were watching because I was freaking out. And I was just like, I brought the 2008, 2004 vibes.
When I used to play COD a lot,
that's
if
what
they
I
ever
was
pulled
doing.
up my old COD chat logs, I'm gone.
That's
dude.
what
This whole thing is shut down.
Yeah.
I'm fucking out of here, dude.
Yeah, I mean, same. I said some shit that if that got brought back today would be fucked on those old Twitch clips.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it was back
I mean,
in
it was
the day.
8 years ago. I don't know.
I think things were different. I mean, there's a
They
lot of
were.
stuff that, like, I think even I probably said, 8 years ago that you pull that up today, dude, I'm going to have to post an apology, for sure. So kind of bringing it back a little bit to your heroin addiction.
Yeah.
Because we kind of skipped ahead a little bit. How long did that last after you started, really getting hooked on it and snorting it?
9 years.
Oh, my God. And how did it progress from just snorting it to now you're shooting up?
Basically, what it's the sort of the tolerance thing that what happens, and then like you're gonna be around other heroin addicts that are shooting it, and I would say 9 out of 10 people, not everyone will, but I would say 9 out of 10, they eventually just give in one day, and you'll just wind up shooting it, and then it's just you're fucked.
That's what happened to you?
Yeah.
You just gave in?
Yeah, I'm just
Fuck,
I remember
man.
I was in a Subway parking lot when I did it too. I remember the exact moment. It was yesterday. It's fucked up.
Tell me that story.
I feel like I don't want to like have anyone like feel like they want to do it, but like, yeah. I remember like they took the foil out. It was in a tin foil. We put it in we didn't use spoons because it like made you waste heroin because you had to cook it longer. So what you would do, we would go into Walmart and we would either buy or steal these little candle holders. And then you'd take the little remainder wax out and do these little thin things and you'd cook it like that. And then he sucked it up. And then he tied me off with the seatbelt and then he shot me up with it. And I was like, fuck.
With the seatbelt is fucking, that's hardcore, dude. That's fucked. Needles always scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, they scared me to this day. I don't like them.
You should have swallowed your fear that day.
I don't know what happened. Well, I was snorting heroin is what happened. You just lose inhibition of certain things that you had before.
And I'm imagining once you started shooting up is where things really escalated.
It escalated extremely fast.
Yeah. So when did you become homeless for the first time?
Probably like 20.
Okay.
Was
that
like
before or after you started shooting up?
After.
So shit escalated fast.
Yeah.
You're just all of a sudden
I would start
homeless.
stealing everything. I would like find ways to lie to my dad about getting money, but like that just wouldn't last, or I wouldn't get enough, or I would want more, or there'd be some days where I'd get dope sick and he just wasn't gonna give me money. So I like had to figure it out. This is before like the criminal element was brought into it.
Yeah, you were still asking your parents for money, trying to just hit little hustles and shit.
It gets way worse.
Yeah.
It gets bad.
Yeah, early on when you're addicted and you're just trying to get money, it's just little shit.
It's little shit, and like the money goes farther because your tolerance isn't as bad, and it's more like you're kind of on an adventure at first.
Yeah.
And a tolerable adventure that involves you getting high and feeling good all the time.
It's the most dangerous like era of addiction too, when it still feels exciting and like an adventure.
Fresh.
Because you're not quitting anytime soon.
No, there's no consequences
You're
yet.
locked in.
You know it's bad, but that's kind of the appeal, I guess. Maybe. That sounds kind of corny and gay.
No, for sure. I mean, I think the same thing as weed. Like, dude, smoking weed was definitely cooler before you could go to the dispo and get it.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
I think
Same
there's
way
probably
with drugs.
people that, I don't know if there's less people that smoke weed now, but yeah, for me, like, it's definitely not. Like, the whole reason, like, weed was cool back in the day is because it was illegal.
Yeah, 100%.
I have 2 weed convictions in Illinois, and Illinois is a legal state.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What happened with those
This is
convictions?
2007. These were before my felonies. These are 2000. First one was we smoked weed with 2 of my buddies, one who actually died from heroin.
Fuck, R.I.P.
Yeah, it was my boy Uzi. He's gone, but R.I.P. My other boy Brian, he's actually doing pretty good. He never did heroin though. But anyways, we were smoking weed in the parking lot, and we just fell asleep in the car, and the police came. That was my first arrest. It was literally like down the street from my house. Like it was like a 30-second walk. We could have just sat in my driveway. But we were stupid.
Fuck. And they'd actually arrest you for that back then.
Yeah,
Like, they'd fully.
like this particular arrest, we didn't actually go into cuffs, but they'll take your picture and they just process us right there.
Yeah.
This is 2007.
Yeah, because I got arrested in well, I didn't get arrested. I got ticketed for weed shit in Aurora, Wheaton. I got a ticket, and I had they take like a half ounce off me, and it was just a ticket.
Yeah,
So it's crazy that they'd like really cuff you and fucking take you to jail for that shit.
You're going to
back
jail.
then. Like they're treating that the same way as a bag of blood.
Yeah, my second arrest was a bong and a weed bag, and they straight up cuffed me, took me to the police station.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Got a mugshot and everything
Everything.
for a bag of weed,
Yeah.
dude.
In Illinois is a totally legal state now.
Yeah, I mean, thank God times have changed.
Yeah.
Thank God times have changed. But like, dude, it's unbelievable hearing like, that really probably fucked you over for the future because you have that's what kind of crime is that?
It kind of just like led me into it. Kind of like also like this is also after like reflecting on this after years, but like it probably did like subconsciously play into like, all right, fuck it, I'm already in this circle, like let's get it.
So with the weed arrests, obviously those were shitty. Those fucked you up. Fast forward to when you're doing heroin. Were you starting to get arrested for that too?
First arrest was just, I remember the day, December 4th, 2009.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And my boy, this is the kid, actually, it was the same kid, Uzi. He overdosed in my garage. I fucking hid the rest of the heroin that we had in, or so I thought was the rest of it, in a Halo helmet, a Master Chief. Do you remember the limited edition Master Chief helmet edition?
I have one in my fucking string room.
You remember you had to like take it up and put it down, the little area there? That's where I put it in.
Oh, fuck.
And they didn't find that. But the problem was when I called 911, there was someone in his pack of cigarettes, but it was on the garage floor, my garage floor.
So you're fucked.
So I'm fucked. That was my first case, was that. That was a felony class 4 possession in Lake County, Illinois.
And that must have been before they implemented that.
Limited, that passed in 2011. If you call 911, the Limited Immunity Act or whatever it was called.
Yeah, it's like you're allowed, if someone's ODing, you can call 911 and they won't arrest you.
That passed 2 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, because that's fucked. They would actually just take you
I was a badass too early, bro. It worked against me,
2 years
man.
too early, man.
2 years too early.
2011, you would have been okay.
God damn.
So how is the heroin arrest different from the weed arrests?
Well, that was a felony. That one, you like the misdemeanor one, you walk out of the courtroom or not courtroom, the police station right there. This one, you get booked into the Lake County Jail. You got to see a bond judge. It's more of a real experience of the criminal justice system.
Yeah, you're really getting processed now.
Now you're in jail, and then fucking because my third case had every one of my other cases besides the last one all had co-defendants. So then my bond was $5,500 to get out, bonded out. Went to rehab in Lake Tahoe, or first in Watsonville, Narconon, it was Vista Bay. And then I went to Lake Tahoe where I did like 10 months in rehab there.
Oh, shit. In an inpatient?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Oh, yeah. I've been in rehab half my life, too.
10 months?
Dude,
like,
yeah.
Just
like,
straight
it was almost
stint?
the same amount in jail or rehab as I was out in the streets.
That's fucked.
It was about close.
I did 2 months up in Minnesota.
Hazeltine.
Yep. When I was fucking
Your parents
17.
have money or something.
Fucking, yeah, my dad does, and I had good insurance.
There it is.
So,
that's like the best one in the country.
It was actually really fucked up. So my dad, like, when I got sent to rehab, my dad had promised my mom, like, oh, I'll help you pay for this. Let's just, like, get him into rehab. And then when I got into rehab, my dad, like, came and visited me one day, and he was like, hey, when you get out, like, if you want to live with me, you have to follow all these fucking rules. And I was like, this was like 2 weeks into rehab, bro. I am not going for any of that shit. I'm like, Dad, get me out of here. I want to go home. I have a bag still hidden in my closet. You know, like,
it's not fun. Your first
let me
time.
fucking go home. And after that day, he like was very pissed and just refused to pay for any of it.
Yeah.
So my mom, who like makes a very modest living, has lived in a condo her whole life, fucking gets hit with the whole bill for that rehab facility.
That was probably like 75,000, 95, 75.
I don't know the exact amount. I don't think they ever told me the exact amount, but they would always just say it was a lot of money.
It was close to 6K.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure it was. And I was there for 2 months, just under 2 months. It was like 7.5 weeks. So,
I mean, dude, unless you're ready, it's just tough.
Yeah. Did rehab work for you?
Fuck no.
So you were kind of forced into it.
Yeah. And, you know, when you're early 20s and shit, like, I don't know, man. It's just, you're just not ready to deal with a lot of things. I don't know. Like, it's almost like a certain person will become an addict. Mm-hmm. It's like there are addictive behavior tendencies, but it's like that's just how that person kind of is. And like, I don't know. You got to like navigate. I just wish what I knew now then. I just feel like the best way to prevent addiction is you just got to like really just be honest with a person and just be like, dude, if you decide to do this, like, don't even like try to like preach at them. Like, you gotta get them before, dude.
100%.
I feel like when if they've been using more than a year, it's just fucked. It's over, basically. Even like 6
Yeah.
months, it could be over. You got to get them before or very early.
There's a small window early
Super
on
small
where
window.
what you say can actually change anything.
Correct.
And after that, it's totally on them.
And then, unless you catch them when they're 40 and they're 50, and they're finally just like, dude, anything.
Totally
but this.
burnt. Yeah. So
Which, I mean,
that takes a long time to get to that point, you know?
And many heroin addicts are not making it to that, especially in 2025. And you got to remember, this is before fentanyl. Fentanyl was just starting to kill people in 2015. That's when I got out.
Yep.
March 3rd, 2015 is my sobriety date.
Yeah, you, I mean, are honestly, in a sense, lucky that you were,
16.
in that era and able to do actual heroin and not just fucking fent.
Oh, I'd be dead.
Yeah, 100%.
And I always admitted like that I was smarter than all my friends. Like, and I was, I'll be honest, because I would just do a little bit at a time just to test it. And that definitely saved my life for sure in some instances. But in 2000, whatever, the fentanyl shit, you could literally do the same thing or less and just still die.
Yeah.
Especially shooting it. You're literally fucking playing Russian roulette.
It takes
Actually.
one bad dose.
Yeah.
And when you shoot it up, now it's not only do you have to count on the fact that whatever's in your bag is properly dosed and even, but you have to size it right. Like if you fuck up and put too much in your syringe, you're just dead.
If you come back from a tolerance break, you take a 3-day break, you do the same dose, you're dead.
Yep.
For sure dead.
Yeah, it's
Which is what kills a lot of people.
It's fucked now because now it's beyond even like people who are going and buying coke or like ketamine are getting fucking fent cut in their shit. So it's a terrible time to be a drug addict. Right
Not
now,
a good time to be a drug addict.
It's a
this is the
horrible
best time
time
to say no.
100%. That's a great lesson. This is the best time to say
It
no.
sounds corny, and it's like and some people are maybe in addiction hearing this or contemplating using it. Drugs
Probably a lot of our viewers are.
right, and it's like I just want to tell them like it's just not worth it.
100%.
Just like find your passion, pursue that. It's just you're gonna make a decision that you just might not come back from. I'm just like that's just it.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
just
know,
takes
like-
one brain dead decision
Like
and you're
that's
fucked.
it.
Yeah.
Like some of the addicts that I've met like had a lot of potential. I've met a lot of people in prison and in rehab that were very intelligent. Some weren't, but some were. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I think addiction naturally attracts a lot of really smart people too.
Yeah.
Like not obviously I've also met some of the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever met in my
that's-
life.
it's so
dude.
polarizing in
Like
that sense.
cavemen.
Yeah.
Like, dudes who
like, all
I
right,
don't know how
maybe you
you're
need to do heroin.
I don't know
Fuck
how
you.
you're allowed to drive a car.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, yeah, some real like almost philosophers that just sit there and take acid every day in their bedroom.
No, he's a philosopher.
So when your addiction started getting real bad, you're getting arrested, you're bouncing in and out of homelessness. Obviously, you're not able to ask your dad for money to buy your heroin anymore. So how are you getting this money?
This is where I started selling heroin to break even.
Oh,
and then
shit.
The times I couldn't sell heroin to break even, we started stealing from cars and other places.
Car hopping's a classic.
Yeah. And then we started not doing cars and doing other places. We were fucked up.
Maybe some places that you can't talk about.
We were not good. I mean, there's
Statute of
probably,
limitations is probably up,
it's
though,
Oh,
to
it's
be
for
fair.
sure up. This is 10, 15. This is 15 years ago.
As long as you didn't kill anybody,
No.
we're good.
No, yeah. No, we didn't do that. No. Didn't get that bad. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the lengths that you'll go to
You'll go
to
to
get
everything.
high
Like,
is
dude,
crazy.
I used to panhandle in front of the Rock and Roll McDonald's in Chicago. That was one of my spots.
really?
The Western 290
That's a nice
exit.
McDonald's.
Beautiful McDonald's.
It's a great McDonald's, yeah.
I'd look old women in the eyes and like that's how I learned how to cry. I'd fake cry.
Really?
I train myself how to like do it.
So in your opinion, as someone who's been on the other side of it, should I trust a homeless man who has a sign, like on average? Like should I?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I mean, for me, like when someone walks up to me and if like it happens, like if a guy's like, he's like, oh wait, do you want drugs? If he says yes, I'll be more inclined to give him the money. Because I know
I
it's
feel
going
that
to
way
drugs
too,
either
honestly.
way. I mean, maybe you could say that's a bad take, but like, cause
No, I
used to
agree.
be an addict. Like, don't fucking lie to me, dude.
I
get
agree
it.
with you for sure. Especially like out here, dude, you'll see some of the homeless people and it's like I have 3 kids, just lost my job, and it's some guy who like you look at his arm and it's like, bro, you're shooting crocodile in that bitch.
Yeah.
Like you're not.
There's some sympathy like ways. There's some ways to do it. Depends what you
100%.
look like. I was making $300 a day some days. panhandling.
Really?
Dude, I was a beast.
Holy fuck.
I was so good.
What was the best spot you ever went to?
Before they banned it, Union Station.
Oh shit!
But they started policing it heavier. They didn't want you to do it there because it was just off-putting.
Do you remember what your like peak day was? Like highest income?
Yeah, I got like $1,000 in one day. One guy gave me 4 or 5 $100 bills.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Did you find fucking Warren Buffett, dude?
I don't know what happened that day, but and he was like an average-looking guy too. And that's the best part about being homeless is almost turned the best part. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but like it almost turned into like a game. Like my brain would try to like notice behavioral patterns of who's gonna give me money. And honestly, the demographic isn't what I thought it would be. More like rich white people, but it really wasn't. It was a pretty broad demographic, which I thought was interesting. And like I know some of the people that gave me money weren't super well off because I would see the cars they get in, and I just like. Or if they just maybe hid their wealth really well. I don't fucking know. But I mean, like, yeah.
Was there like a certain type of person that you just knew like, oh, they're going to be more inclined to help me? Like
middle-aged, older white women.
Ooh, the wine moms.
Correct. But I mean, I don't want to bring up the racial component, but like.
No, that's okay. I mean.
If you were a Hispanic or, an African-American guy, it's harder to convince a white female to give
For sure. For sure.
For sure.
That's just how society is.
How it is.
100%.
But on the flip side, black women were very receptive to me.
Really?
Yeah.
They love some white chocolate.
I guess that's it was an interlude to the prelude to the prequel or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, black women are just nice, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
like that.
Like if you
get that nice black auntie energy, you know, like that's a very nice woman. She's gonna give you a 10, you know?
Sometimes they'd like ask you what you're doing, and I'll be like, sometimes I try to spin it like, dude, my car died. Like there'd be like, I would literally like change my like, sometimes I'd change like whatever shirts I had. I had like 4 shirts, but I would like change them and like change the story. And then come right back, like wear a hat or glasses or something like that. And just sit because the area was so good, like where I was at. The train station, fucking the 290 expressways or the Eden Expressway by Jefferson Park.
Nice.
The Cicero 6 Corners, and I was staying at a hotel there.
Oh,
I was in that bitch. That's when it was rough, but.
And you were making enough to live out of the hotel too.
Yeah, I was selling heroin.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
I don't know how I never got caught in Chicago selling heroin.
Yeah, I mean they take that pretty seriously, you know.
Well,
you can maybe get away with selling weed.
Honestly, in Chicago, they actually don't.
Really?
Even back then, they didn't. Oh no. Under a gram of heroin, if you get arrested for under a gram of heroin, it gets thrown out no probable cause due to weight.
So I'm not familiar with heroin at all, really. I have a couple friends who did it, and 2 of the 3 are dead by now.
Yeah.
What is like a gram of heroin? How much is that?
In 2000, I don't know what it would be in 2025.
If not price wise, but I mean like if I go buy a gram of blow, that's gone in like before the night's up.
Oh,
how long's a gram of heroin lasting?
You've never done it before?
I've literally never done heroin.
It could last you a month.
For you, then, let's say, like, let's say
if
you're homeless in
if
Chicago, you went and got a gram bag. How long is that?
A day or less.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I was shooting up $200 a day of heroin.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. You want to see my scars? Let's see, my bad. You want to see my scars?
Yeah, fuck. I mean, shit, dude. Oh, my God. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
You show those to the camera right there?
Oh, yeah.
Or is that one? Oh, yeah, this one's good, actually.
Dude,
yeah.
check out my track marks, Mom.
Oh, wow.
Remember, this is the scare. This is like
this
one
is.
of those
Yep.
scare. Oh, shit, my bad.
Oh,
it's
you're
one
good,
of those
dude.
scare straight tactics.
It's a fake wall anyways. It's like a piece of plywood.
Looks real.
Get over it. It does, kind of, you know. We've had these for a long time, dude. You know, there's some lore behind these fucking walls.
Look nice.
I drove them here in a U-Haul, dude. They were bouncing around and shit. It's fucked up. So you're making a lot of money a day at Union Station, kind of, you know,
It's
hustling.
going to like, I would literally take that money. It depends. Look, $300 a day is aggressive.
Yep.
Let's say it was an average around 100, 150. But there were like some days a week where I would get $300 a day. So like if I got if I made $120 a day, $100 going to heroin, I'll buy probably a dime of crack, and then I'll spend the rest on food. I'll
Got a couple McChickens up in there.
Literally, that's all I would get.
Yup. Fucking.
But I could get a lot of, being homeless, you can get food for free easily. Now that you can get for free.
What places hook you up?
Anywhere. No, it's not the staff. It's like the people there. If you want to like ask someone for food, they'll do it probably just to get out of the way. But like people are very inclined to give you food if.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess the guilt's kind of taken out
I literally
of it
did
of
a troll stream where I was acting like I was homeless, and within 2 minutes I had 2 seconds. Within literally like 10 seconds of sitting down. This stream happened like a week ago.
Okay.
And like I put my phone down and like some couple dropped me off food.
Where was
And I
this?
felt
Like
bad.
what
This is
city
Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Which is a totally beautiful city. That's not Chicago's rough, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Chicago is there's like great parts of it, but most of it is kind of grimy for sure.
Even the great parts, the bad people from the bad parts fuck up the good parts. The blue line and the red line and the green line, they're very effective, but it almost works against the city because for $1.50 you can go wherever you want.
Yeah, second best public transit behind New York.
100%.
For sure.
It's lethal.
It is, yeah. I don't ride the red line, for sure.
No.
I don't go on the red line.
I was on the red line at the end.
I'll take green and blue, dude. Red, I'm good.
You stay on the green and blue long enough, you're not going anywhere fun.
True. Yeah, but coming from Aurora, I can get
Oh,
a pretty,
yeah, you can duck it.
I'm good. I can duck it.
Yeah. That's funny we grew up so close together.
Yeah. Dude,
I wonder if we ever like walked by. No, you were 10
Potentially.
years younger than me, so the timeline might have been the activity differential.
how long were you in Illinois for before you left?
I left. Oh yeah, I was in Libertyville. 2022.
I moved out of Illinois a year
Early
after that,
23.
so I mean, very well could
We
have.
could have.
Very well could have.
Could have.
I mean, what like? Let's say you're downtown Chicago. Where are you kicking it average day?
I don't even know anymore. Oh, you said when I'm homeless?
Yeah, like when you were homeless. Like
my
what
bad.
part of
Sorry,
the
I'm
city
fucking
were
stupid.
you?
Oh, I was on the west side of Chicago.
Okay.
Pulaski and Lexington, Cicero.
Yeah, that's not where I was going in high school to like hang out with my friends.
No, dude, I was literally hanging. The gangbangers love me over there, bro.
I would go to. Sometimes I go up to that area just to buy Molly.
Yeah, the gang members love me there. Oh yeah, Molly over there.
There's this guy named Sparky who I used to go and get Molly from. And
Was that Rogers Park? Where were you going?
No, Sparky was in Oak Park actually.
Oak Park. Oh yeah, it's in between Maywood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was in Oak Park.
That's right on the border, right on the other side of Austin.
Fucking, it was great Molly though. I miss it.
Chicago's got very good drugs.
Incredible drugs, man.
I mean, maybe it has to because of the geographical location.
Very central. You know, it's a great
Centralic.
distribution point. You can
Yes.
get the drugs out.
Get 'em
anywhere
out, get
from
'em in,
Chicago.
baby.
So you're panhandling. You're spending $100 out
I'm
of your
selling
$120.
drugs too, though. You gotta remember, I'm selling drugs, so I'm
You're
doing
hustling hard.
transactions constantly throughout the day.
And while you're doing all this,
I could get robbed or stabbed at any point. I don't know how I never did. Maybe because I was doing them in broad daylight.
you never got robbed selling,
I got fake money a few times.
but you never got like physically, like violently robbed.
No, I have.
Oh shit!
Gunpoint.
What happened there?
That we thought we were going to a pass out,
Mm-hmm.
and basically it was a stray group of people that were just trying to rob the drug addicts.
Oh no!
And they just went down. They made us take our shoes and socks off.
Oh my
So
god!
we couldn't like go anywhere that fast or whatever. So like we
They
had to like
stripped you
slowly,
down and
we had to like
fucking-
slowly disperse, and we were all had ski masks on. They were like, empty your pockets.
That's
they got
fucked
my
up.
cell phone, and like I had like $40. I was like, dude, please, I'm sick.
They didn't give a fuck.
Fuck no.
Damn, that's tragic.
Yeah, that wasn't the last time that happened, dude. Honestly, but the police were you'd rather deal with the gangs than the police.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're white, you're just walking around like the sorest thumb ever. Like you literally have a sign on your back that's saying "Arrest me." The only thing around there is the gateway rehab. You'd have to say you're like going to visit someone there or going to see some because there's literally no human reason why you're there. Why are you here?
Yeah,
There's no reason to be there. There's nothing there.
Yeah, Gateway almost like infects the area around.
It makes it
you know?
worse, dude.
It for sure lowers the property value.
Like you almost
100%.
can't have a rehab in a lower socioeconomic neighborhood like that because it makes the worst worse.
Yeah, you got to put it in a nice area where like
or
it's
like a middle class. Like,
there's a disconnect
yeah,
or something. You know,
yeah.
I feel like that's where all the best rehabs are. You look and they're in like the nice part of town.
I mean,
Shit.
dude, like I still want to move to Lake Tahoe to this day. It's still like,
it's beautiful there. I've heard.
man, every
Fuck.
season's just perfect too.
Really,
You don't get too much of one season.
I got to get up there at some point.
super fucking retardedly expensive though. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm surprised. I can't live here.
Dude,
I could, but I mean,
you're telling me, man. I was in I mean, what's Austin like? Like what do you-
awesome.
what's
so
the,
cheap.
Like for example, like rent. Let's say I want a fucking apartment. What's like your average apartment?
3 bedroom,
2 bed. Let's say
$1,000,
$1,000 a month.
1,500 or less,
1,500 a month for a
2K
2 bed
or less,
Are we talking like a small
like
2
2K
bed
or less,
a
like 2K or less, something decent, 100%.
dude? Fuck.
Dude, this is like you're on steroids here.
Bro, I'm paying $3 for a shoebox 2-bed right
Dude,
now.
right. Yeah.
And
You could
I'm
be in luxury in Austin.
I
right
drive
now.
over an hour to get here.
Yeah, you'd
Like,
be in luxury. But you're you're sacrificing that. You're close to the connections. You're close.
that you got to be here for a few years and like
Yeah.
soak it in and then get the fuck out.
That's what
you
I
know?
did. I lived here already for 2 years.
Oh, yeah. So you did your time. Yeah. I'm doing the
Yeah.
same shit, dude. I'm doing my like sentence, my LA
Yeah,
sentence.
but
and
it's
then I'm
like you're not
fucking-
like punishing your body and like putting yourself in like the dumbest situations. Like we were going to Figueroa's streaming here. We were
Yeah, I'm not hanging out
doing
on
drugs, like not drug. I mean, fucking weed. Yeah, sure. Drinking. Like we were in drug addicts,
Yep.
high risk situation, party streams, shit like that. So like I served my LA time, and I still like come back here, but just in therapeutic doses.
It's a fun place, you know,
too fun.
in certain ways, but
It's the funnest.
it's also a lot,
Yeah.
you know. I think it gets kind of old sometimes, you know.
Oh yeah, it does.
Like especially I don't know about you, but like the weather here, I actually don't fuck with it.
Really? Why? It's just too consistently
It's
perfect.
too boring, dude. Every fucking day I
beautiful.
wake up and it's like 70. And I know, dude, all the comments gonna be like, oh fuck you, Goblin.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you complain about that? But I love the snow, dude. I like the rain. Like
Dude.
I want that
I
shit.
mean, maybe in dose. I just remember right before I left Chicago, it was like May of 22, and I guess it was like one of the colder days in that history of that day. But it was like I got my Uber Eats order, and I had like shorts on, and god damn it, the coldest draft hit me, man. I'm like, I'm so fucking tired of this shit, man. It's cold all the
It's
time.
that lakefront air, dude. It's
It's just been. I'm just like, bro, we're just cold all. Like, oh, I felt like an old man. I'm like, I'm fucking tired of being fucking cold, man.
you had to get away from that shit.
Had to get away from that shit.
So when did you end up getting sober? How'd that happen?
So I got arrested on that one case. Do you want to speed past my other arrests, or do you want to like?
No, I mean, dude, fill me in. But like,
Okay.
I'm trying to piece the timeline together
Yeah.
there's
My bad.
there's a
There's
lot
a lot
here.
going on.
There's a lot
I've
here.
lived a very
so hold on.
fucked
Let me
up
just
life.
let me just run through my understanding of
Yeah,
it and then correct me if I'm wrong.
Do you?
So you started getting high around like 16. The heroin came like 2 years later, around then.
Around that.
9 years of just heroin addiction that progressively got worse.
Correct.
So at the end of that 9 years, you've been arrested how many times?
5 times.
Yeah, run me through them, dude.
5, 7 times in total. 2 misdemeanor weeds.
The 2 misdemeanor weeds, then we heard about the first
First
heroin
one
arrest.
was Uzi overdosing in the garage.
Yes.
Second
Yeah.
one is actually a movie scene.
Okay.
Okay, so this happened.
I could tell it's gonna
this
be a
happened September 18th, 2011.
Okay.
I was dating a girl named Miranda.
You remember all the dates, dude.
I remember them, and we were. For some reason, I can't really track this one on Google, but the other rest you can just see. But this one, I don't know why I can't. So I wound up. You know, part of the problem of heroin addiction is your stomach gets constipated. It's fucked up. So I literally my stomach was fucked up. It's the worst pain ever. I guess I didn't go to the bathroom enough. So I went to a hospital, and
fuck.
my girlfriend went with me, and I gave her money to go get heroin. Now it was a heroin relationship. It was fucked up. We went there, or not. She went to the west side. She came back, and all the capsules were shorted.
Oh no.
So that we started arguing. I was like, "Where's the fucking rest of it?" Like freaking the fuck out, like looking at it, like, "Give me the rest of it." So the nurse walked in and heard it. She heard it. She just had me by the door, of course, because I have no fucking luck. And she's like, "You guys okay in there?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're okay." So then I go into the bathroom, and I'm wearing a nightgown, so I don't have a belt or anything to tie off with. And I tied off once with like the little white cord, like the white thing to like tie on the side.
Oh yeah, they're almost like a belt.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
But it didn't work, so it was hard to do. So I did it, and then I was like, this didn't work. So then, like an idiot, I go to the blood pressure machine.
Oh my god.
I put that on my arm. I go, and then I go to do it, and then the nurse walks in again, and I freak out, and I throw the needle on the ground. I throw the needle on the ground, and then she leaves.
Fucked.
And I didn't know this, but Miranda walks out to see what's going on. She said they're calling the police. So I take the heroin, and I just start walking out of the hospital with it. And let me get the details of this correctly here. So I'm trying to walk out of the hospital because they have the syringe, and then I get outside the hospital, and there's police there. So the police are there. The police are. I get to the parking lot. Because I'm trying to meet Miranda in the parking lot. So that's right. She called me. She said the cops are coming. Get here. So I try to get to her car. Before I can get to her car, because she had left originally, because we know the police were going. So I had the heroin. So she went in the car, and then she said, come meet me downstairs. So I'm going to meet her, and then the police are there before I get there. So then when they get there, I have it like pound in my hand. So like they go, so I go to sit down. They put me on the curb, and it's pound in my hand. And I like put it like in the dirt next to me. And I did it when they weren't looking, and I got away with that. And they didn't see that. They didn't see that.
No
so the
way.
heroin's next to me, yeah. So basically, but they still had the heroin needle.
Yeah.
So I'm still fucked.
Yeah, you were still going for paraphernalia either way.
No, possession. Because there's heroin in.
You hadn't shot up yet. Yeah,
I didn't get it in.
Yeah. Oh, so you're fucked.
Fucked.
Yeah.
So they call. So the police then they arrest me, but before I go, the police come and they try to arrest me, but they took me back to the hospital room. But the police didn't, or the hospital didn't have to let me go because under medical supervision. So I wasn't supposed to leave. So I was like, I had like a police officer outside of the room. So this is how crazy addiction gets, dude. I knew that there was heroin outside in that parking lot, dude. So I literally waited for like the security guard or the guy to go away because they asked me if I was gonna like leave or anything, and I said no. So like the security guard like was more loose in his movements, and I fucking walked out of that hospital in a nightgown in the middle of the night, and I tried to find the heroin, dude, from where I was in the parking lot. I couldn't fucking find it.
No.
And I couldn't find it, dude.
I mean, it was dark out at that point.
It was dark out, and then I went back, like, and he had just realized I had made it back before he got back, but I guess he knew that I left. He's like, "Where were you going?" And I was like, "I don't know. I was looking for my friend out there." He goes, "What are you doing? You can't be doing that." Blah blah. So then, like the next day, the police fucking. I go to the jail, dude. And I was on probation at the time for the other offense, and then I get booked. And then they booked me for that. I should have added when they first stopped me, the cops had me at like I was at gunpoint, and I tried to open the door to my car. So like they sat me down, like so I was like this, with my hands up with the heroin like this. So I had to like pound somehow.
Oh
and
shit!
They just didn't see it or something. They just didn't see it. So like when they said sit down before like they detained me, like
You're
it was
able
like a
to
swift movement.
bring your hand
It was like a
down
swift
and-
movement.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't explain it. And then so then that happened because I was like running through the parking lot trying to find her car in this nightgown. And there was like police trying to find me. So it was like fucking like, that's kind of like, that's wild to have happen.
Yeah, you're doing like a Splinter Cell mission, damn near, sneaking through the
Basically.
lot for your fucking bag.
Yeah. So then the next day they took me into the police station, and I fucking started going through like the worst heroin withdrawal ever, dude. And they gave me a $50,000 bond. This was $5,000 to get out.
Oh.
But I got out the next day, and this was like, yeah.
How'd you bond out?
My dad bonded me out.
W dad.
W dad. And then you would have thought anything would have happened, but like, no, yeah. Then they made me do like, then I went to rehab. I haven't talked about this in a line like this in a minute. I didn't even go into detail like this on No Jumpers. So then after this, I went into a rehab for like 30 days. I'm trying to remember the exact one. I think it might have been in Antioch. I don't remember. I'd have to really do some digging to find out.
It's rehab either way.
It's rehab.
Yep.
I was there 30 days, and then, I mean, after that, dude, it was fucking another 2 years of just straight misery and using. And it just escalated so fast. I mean, we were committing crimes. I started selling drugs in the suburbs in Lake County. I started getting brazen with it.
That's how you make the money, though.
That's how you make the money.
That's how you make the money.
But, I mean, and this is when I still had a car, too. So I still had a car.
Oh.
So I still had a car.
So you weren't like
my dad bought me a car.
sleep
it was
on
in
the
my
bench
name.
homeless.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. That did end up happening, but not at this point. And then, so then I was just doing my thing, being homeless, cycling through the addiction. And then November 26, 2012, this is when I started meeting guys in Chicago. We started stealing around the suburbs in Chicago. I don't know what, because in Chicago, everything's behind glass. So you can't steal from Walgreens as effective.
Yep.
So we went to this Walgreens and we stole shower gel. It was the Bannockburn one. It was by Deerfield High School.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Why shower gel though?
Because you can sell it to the Indian stores. They were taking because like certain stores need certain items, and on that day, he was like a fence. The guy's name was Ali and Stan, and we stole Axe shower gel, but there was a cop and a fucking marked Dodge Charger in the parking lot that I don't know how the fuck we didn't see. And it's funny. I actually wound up helping the theft in that Walmart or that Walgreens. But that's the misdemeanor theft got dropped. Anyways, we pulled out. We got pulled over, dude. They watched the whole thing.
Oh, so they like busted you outside of the store.
Yeah, they waited for us to get right in front of Deerfield High School.
That's crazy.
This is like in the middle of the day.
That's
so like there was like kids outside. There was like for some reason it was like the day after Thanksgiving, or it was like around Thanksgiving, but there were still people in the high school for some reason.
How much shower gel did you take?
Like a lot, like 20 or 30 bottles, like 30
fucking
bottles.
Enough to get followed out of Walgreens.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I remember, dude. You should have gone to the suburbs for the Walgreens licks. Too.
We did. This was Bannockburn.
Fucking Naperville's where you should have gone. Dude.
We were crushing DuPage. Well, they were getting hit so hard that they started having undercover cops there, and like because DuPage County geographically is right by the west side.
There's a Walgreens on the intersection of 87th and 59. I think it was 87th and 59. It's next to a pizza place, and on that intersection, that Walgreens had Hennessy with no alarm on it.
Yeah, that was another big one.
Fuck it, that was huge.
Some drug dealers, sometimes they would let you, if you could get a bottle, they would just straight up trade you.
Yeah,
that'd be the only thing they would want.
You ever steal from Jewel Osco?
Food.
Really?
There wasn't
you never
enough.
hit their alcohol section?
No, there were too much security there.
Oh,
in the suburb, even like in all the cities. Like if there was a Jewel, it was pretty well. It wasn't. You wouldn't steal from a Jewel. You'd rather go somewhere else.
Dude, we ran the fucking suburb Jewels dry.
Really?
Yeah.
We did Jewel here and there, but we would just prefer like Walmart, Costco, all these lower end ones like that.
I'd literally go in with a cart and we'd fill the whole cart up with like, we'd go to the hot food section and get the like pre-made like chicken wings and shit.
Yeah.
We'd put snacks, bro. We'd get like fucking paper plates and shit. Fill the whole cart up, go to the liquor section, get like a bottle of Smirnoff, all the shit that didn't have alarms. And then we'd kind of try to make it look like we were about to pay and then just walk out.
Yeah.
And like they only had a guard at one entrance because they were cheaping out. So Jewel Osco it's crazy to hear how tight they had it unlock in the city though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the cities were not it. The
Yeah.
cities, everything was locked up. You just couldn't get anything. It wasn't worth it.
And they actually enforce it there too, dude. I mean, every time that
The city that you could get away with a lot of theft, the suburbs, they'll enforce it. Like you're going to jail.
it's just so crazy.
But
I guess I just got lucky, dude.
The serious charge I had was a drug DUI that I still to this day have on my record when I was dope sick. But because of the weed, what I smelled, for whatever reason, we pled to the drug DUI. Because remember, I'm on bond, on probation.
Yep.
In the possession charge, there was actually no drugs. It was the residue on the cooker. That's all it takes. So in the third case, there was no drugs. The first case was like a capsule or two that wasn't mine. The second case was a syringe because they didn't find the other drugs. And I actually wound up going back to the hospital another day or two later to try and find it. But of course, there was a storm, I guess, that I didn't know. It rained and I couldn't find it. It was rainy. It didn't matter. And then the third one was residue. So I'm getting arrested for like the absolute dumbest shit ever. They're not catching all the other crimes that we're committing the entire time.
Yeah, you just keep getting popped by the sounds of it for fucking residue and like one syringe.
Yeah.
And, like,
I mean, it was that sloppy to ride around like that. You know,
For sure.
Like, but luckily that day I didn't have any drugs on me, and that's why we were stealing. Because
it's just so funny to hear you
dumb.
say that shit because it was the same way for me. All the like really dumb shit I did. The worst thing I ever got arrested for was felony retail theft at Walmart.
So you stole something like over $500 or $400?
It was $300 at the time.
Okay.
I had stolen like $800 worth. I used to fucking. You know the like plastic storage totes that they have? So the barcode's on the outside. So I did this twice and got away with it, where I'd take a storage tote and I'd go over to like electronics and I'd take like the clearance fucking DVD bin or like game bin. I'd take all that shit and then I'd go to like fucking Disc Replay or like GameStop or some shit.
Just straight up
and just sell like, I'd bring them like a copy of like the same games to everyone, but not multiple to each. They wouldn't be like, why are you selling us 5 sealed copies of Lego? It's like,
see, that's how we avoided getting caught. That's why I was hanging out with other guys. They knew offense. So they were selling stuff to someone that knew someone. So you just cut out.
I was going to fucking GameStop.
I mean, I'm banned
dude.
from American Pawn forever.
Really?
Yeah.
They caught you selling like stolen shit or what happened?
It was stolen jewelry. It was stolen jewelry that I pawned that I didn't know that I legitimately didn't know was stolen. That that someone else gave to me. That he remembers the interaction where like he saw the guy like say it was his. So the guys next to me said it was his, like because it was registered to him, but it was somehow stolen. So it was fucking retarded, as it always is, or something. Maybe I'm misconstruing this, but it was something stupid, and I'm banned from most pawn shops in the Illinois database forever. Like there'll be some that like.
How'd they like notify you of the ban? Did they just like?
I went in there another time and they said you're banned, and they said if you ever come back in here to anyone, we're calling the police.
Damn.
Like they said they have it in here where like if they ever register your name, they're just going to call the police for trespassing. I was like, okay. Guess I'll go to the one right next door or something. Like, fuck.
I feel like you could beat that in court.
You
though,
probably
for
could.
surely, yeah. Like,
you could, but that's in the middle of addiction. This is the least of your fucking.
Yeah,
problems.
you're not thinking that way. You're just like, shit, dude. They won't give me money anymore.
Right. Yeah. You got way bigger fucking fish. You're dealing with way bigger issues than that.
So that's all your arrests, right? I think we covered.
No, the fourth. No? Okay, so yeah, here we go. So, okay.
Oh,
so
man.
it
gets worse
somehow. So then I go to rehab. I'm on the Cook County house, or no, I gotta get my story right here. The third case, I go to rehab again. I'd have to remember where exactly. I leave the rehab, and then I go to the halfway house.
Okay.
I go to the halfway house. Serenity House in Addison.
I've heard of it.
So I was there, piecing this together. So I went to Cordell University for 91 days or 118 days or whatever. That's also in DuPage County. It's all
a fucking good amount of days, dude.
Dude, no, it's supposed to be like a 60-day program, but because I'm a dipshit, I stayed there almost 4 months. But I wound up liking it. I actually had a lot of people there that helped me. I wasn't done yet though, so it was actually a very net positive experience. But
hell yeah.
So then I went to the halfway house at Addison, and I was working at Restaurant Depot in Lombard.
Oh, nice.
I was there, and this is gonna maybe be shocking, but I actually hated it so much. One day I called my probation officer, and I said, "Dude, I want to violate myself." And to this day, I'm actually the only person in the state of Illinois on record that violated his own probation. I literally walked
intentionally,
deliberately. No, because like I was like I called my probation officer. I was so miserable, and I also had relapsed. So I relapsed, and I was showing up to work blasted. And one day I showed up and I was like literally like trying to like fucking do the Restaurant Depot cashiering is like the most tedious thing ever.
Okay.
You'll get like 128 item orders or more. Like because it's restaurants buying your shit. Like
yep.
If you miss one fork, you're redoing the entire cart.
That sounds horrible.
Maybe we shouldn't do that. You can edit that out. My bad.
That's okay. No, I think we're good.
Okay. But I'm saying it was so miserable that I literally called my probation officer one day. I said, I want to violate myself. He goes, what? He goes, I don't think you can. He goes, all right. And then he's like, I don't know if you can do that. And then like he put me on hold and for like 10 minutes.
He had to go ask somebody.
He had to ask someone. He's like, yeah, you can do that. You just got to come in and sign your paperwork and we'll take you into custody. He says, come in today. I said, no, I'm coming in on Monday. It was a Friday. I'm going on a run.
You're in control now.
I'm in control now, baby. So then I call my ex-girlfriend at the time, Miranda. She picks me up. And then, dude, at the time, she had already bought the drugs and she had a gun on her.
Oh, no.
So we're riding around with a bunch of guns and drugs in Chicago. And then I went to a motel or a hotel in Chicago. And then I just fucking shot the most dope ever for 48 hours straight. That would be humanly possible. Mm-hmm. And then I fucking walked myself into the fucking county jail, the probation office, and they just fucking walked me across the street.
Fuck.
And I fucking I started serving my time. So then I went into jail. No. I'm getting this timeline incorrect. So I went into Lake County Jail, but just to get processed. So I got sentenced. And what I didn't know is that when I was in rehab, I thought this time, so I served, I'm leaving out one part. The third case, I spent 6 months in county jail before I went to that rehab.
Okay.
So I was in county jail 6 months. And I thought that time was going to count towards my sentence. But when you catch a case on probation or on bond, your time doesn't start running until you're sentenced on the most recent case.
Oh, shit.
So all that time didn't count.
It was just wasted.
Wasted. So I took 3 2-year sentences ran concurrently.
That's fucking horrible.
With boot camp. But I didn't want to go to boot camp because I knew I wasn't done. Because everyone on deck's like, no, fo, don't waste your shit on boot camp. Don't waste your boot camp on no possession charge. They're like, waste it on a real charge. Because you can only get it once.
Yeah, they only give you one shot at
boot camp. So, but the thing was that stopped me, believe it or not, is I didn't want to shave my head. I'm just like weird about that. Now I'm balding, so it's weird. But so I didn't want to shave my head.
You look like you have a lot of hair. You don't look like you're balding.
Deceptive.
Okay.
Shave my hairline a little later, I guess. But Well, what I was when I went there, because they were like, hey, say you want to take psych meds to get out of boot camp. So I took the psych meds to get out of boot camp, and what that did is that, and once again, I'm an idiot. I didn't know that this classifies you as a higher risk inmate because you're taking psych meds.
Oh.
So I went from the dorm rooms in Stateville NRC, which is processing. So you go from Lake County Jail to Stateville, where you're around the worst people ever. It's like a scene out of a fucking movie, basically. You're in like these 5 huge bird cages. Everyone's handcuffed. There's this eerie quietness where you can only hear like whistles and like keys jingling. I can't explain the atmosphere, but everyone's sitting there and you got your little milk and you got your like bologna sandwich, your sweat meat, and you're like filling out all this paperwork and you can't talk.
It sounds like a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
That's like,
It's a nightmare.
What's going through your head while you're sitting there, you know?
For me, it was it's finally over. I'm
Really?
finally done with probation. I'm finally done with like having my life controlled by the court system.
So you're feeling relieved.
I'm feeling relieved.
Wow.
Because I thought I was only going for like this. But this is before this is what I thought I was only doing like 3 months because I had time served or whatever.
Yep.
No. So because of that, I'm disqualified. One day they call my name and they go, Travis, pack it up. I'm like, where am I going? And I remember they have like bags. You get a paper bag with your number on it, a K and then a number. Mine said K25. And then I put K25. I'm like, and then I line it up. It says Western Correctional. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I was looking at the other inmates. He's like, you're going to Western Correctional. I was like, is that good? He's just like, no. Because like you're in a boot camp dorm. He's like, what? He's like, you're on psych meds. So like maybe you'll go to the work camp. There's a work camp called Greene County Work Camp. I didn't go to Greene County Work Camp. So this is where it gets even worse. So I go to Mount Sterling. It's in Mount Sterling, Illinois. It's called Western Correctional. I walk in. We're handcuffed, and dude, like segregation and intake is the same thing. And dude, it's a scene out of a movie. Now this is when everyone's banging on the cell doors, screaming. People are throwing shit under the cell. Like everyone's
There's just
like
no peace.
It's like it was like the craziest thing. It's like it's so out of a movie. Like there's the officers in the one bubble and looking down the hallways of the other tiers. And I literally I was like nauseous. I wound up vomiting. Or I was like dry heaving. I was like shocked at what was going on. They strip search you. And like one guy was like not wanting to do it correctly. He's like, we will stand here all day until you do it. I was like, fuck. And then we went to like, I remember we got our clothes, and then there was almost a fight right there. He's like, because the guy was like complaining about his size. He's like, man, hurry up, dude. He's like, man, I'll blaze you out, dude. I just remember like the little things. It was like just traumatizing and shocking, dude.
Yep.
So I'm in this medium maximum security prison because I took psych meds to get out of boot camp, and then they give you the piece of paper when they show your out date. And I look at this, and this was October 13th, 2013 is when I see this piece of paper. This shit says October 2014.
Oh, shit. So you're fucked for a year.
So I'm thinking I just did 6 months on this, and then I did all this rehab time, and I gotta go to jail for a prison for a year. Luckily, Illinois, and this is before Illinois had the good time in. It got taken out because someone committed a fucked up crime. Luckily, they brought it back. So they brought it back. So I wound up going, after 4 months of being in the worst prison ever, my cellmate had like 80 years for a murder.
Oh my God.
Dude, yeah. After being in there for like months, my mom and I, you can leave this part in, whatever. My family was calling in, dude, whatever. I should never have been there on that deck. I was the only guy serving like fucking an 8 months, 10-month sentence or less or whatever. So I wound up getting transferred to Stateville or Taylorville, which is a gang-free prison, which was really nice in terms of like prison. Food is really good.
Yeah, fuck, that sounds nice, dude. Gang-free.
Yeah, you're in a fucking dorms.
Throw me in the middle of that shit, dude.
Yeah, it was lit. It was lit for prison. Like the food was good. Like lax atmosphere. Everyone's going home. You gotta remember, people that aren't going home. It's crazy to play chess with a motherfucker that's never going home.
Yeah, he's gonna sit and play only that chess game.
He would ask me. I'll
life.
never forget the one conversation. He was like, "I hear cars talk to you." He didn't know how to internalize navigations, GPS.
I can't even imagine how these people who have been serving decades in prison would react to like the Waymos and shit.
They have no idea. He would always ask me questions like about phones, like. So he's like, if you touch it, it moves. I'm like, yeah, bro.
That's gotta be just so surreal for them too. To like, just know you never are gonna have a chance.
I would
Like,
lie
you'll
about
never
my
see
case.
that.
I lied about my case to a couple of guys.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah! I said I had 38 years for like an armed robbery or something.
You were just trying to sound cooler.
Hell yeah! I got 50 days. You got 50 years. I don't know what the fuck.
So what's like when you're in jail for a year? What's like your day to day? Like what is
Dude, you wake
a
up.
day in the
Depends if
life?
you got a job. Depends on the prison too, because the first one you're just in a cell 23.
That
22
shitty one
hours
that they
a day.
sent you to when you're on psych meds, let's say. Like what
Like
was your
you're
day
in
to
a
day
cell
there?
22 hours a day.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So you're just like listening to the radio. You get a TV that is cable. And there's
Okay.
a movie channel. There's that. Eat commissary, play chess. You get an hour and a half of day room where you can call someone on a phone or take a shower with water that could cook a noodle in. So I mean, it's dude, it's fucking miserable, dude. And I didn't.
Sounds
even,
like the TV keeps
It's
you
actually
saying.
I actually even served worse time, and my story actually gets worse
Really?
somehow. So then I do this fucking. I got the good time, so I only wound up doing I did like 8 months on that. On top of the other 6, so, dude, I'm doing all this time for just basically nothing,
Yep.
basically, that they got me for or whatever. So I mean, so then I do the time. I get out. I go to a halfway house in Chicago, dude. May 7th, 2014, I got paroled. And May 21st, 2 weeks later, I go to Monticello in Iowa before I was supposed to meet my brother to go to Eastern Illinois to party with him in Charleston. I decided to get 5 bags of heroin, and the miracle happens the one time I get caught, dude, doing a hand-to-hand transaction. The cops pulled up right then and there, goes, go down the block. So then I walked down the block the other direction, thinking he said the other way, but then he's like, no, you got to go that way. So then I'm just holding 6 of the biggest bags. For some reason, these bags are the biggest bags ever. So then I walk out of the gangway, and then I see the cops pulling up right there. So they're still in the car, I have the dope in my hand, and I just start shoving it in my ass as fast as I can.
Like
Right.
actually in your ass?
Fuck yeah.
Penetration?
Yeah. I wish I would have. I didn't because the bags were too big. My asshole, unfortunately, was too small, which is one of the few times in life you'll hear someone say that. But, dude, it was just fucking surreal. So the cops get out, put your hands up. What's going on? I'm just like, dude, no fucking way. So then fucking, of course, as they're searching me, like the cops on the west side are super aggressive, so they start tugging on my pants, dude. And like a scene out of a movie, dude, like one bag slips down, dude. Boom. Right there. Now they have all the probable cause they need to, so they just
Now
stick
it's over.
Now it's over. So they stick their hand, he sticks his hand in my ass, grabs the rest of the dope. It's like, fuck. And that was the only time in my life I actually felt suicidal.
Really?
Yeah. That was the only time I ever thought about killing myself, ever.
So did you say that was like your rock bottom in addiction?
You would think it would have been, but I would say that was near it.
Okay.
And we're also leaving out a lot of other fucked up experiences of sleeping on fucking mattresses that are only made out of spring, using fucking tablecloths in negative 10-degree weather, sleeping on trains, getting robbed on trains, police on trains, like fucking hanging out with people that have crazy warrants, getting the crack houses raided by police.
What's like the worst spot you ever slept in for a night?
I was living off Keeler and Wilcox, which is in the heart of the West Side. I was like, it was like a father and this girl that had like 9 or 10 kids in like a house that had 2 bedrooms. And dude, it was so bad. I mean, that house was bad, but then I was in vacant houses that had shit rooms and piss rooms, needles and garbage everywhere. I would sleep in those.
That sounds scary.
We would use candlelight for like heaters.
And anyone can just come in that shit.
People did.
All the time.
They got robbed.
That sounds terrifying,
It
dude.
is terrifying. I'm very lucky to be alive. Some of them got robbed when I was in it. We get robbed at gunpoint, got to comply.
Now, you mentioned one of the
Prostitutes
things.
would be getting assaulted in there. It'd be fucking terrible, dude.
Yeah, you got to get the fuck up out of there, dude.
Dude, I did. But then you just go to another one. And dude, I don't know. Addiction is so nefarious and hard when you're in that, that cycle. I don't know, man. It's just tough.
You don't. I feel like when you're in it, you don't even realize what's happening around you. Too.
You don't. It's like time is like passing you by, and like you just become so content with whatever's happening. You just feel like there's no way out.
Yep.
And I don't know. People would tell me, even though they're inmates and officers, they would always say, like, teachers younger, they always say, like, I have, like, an X factor, or, like, they would say that I have potential if they would get to talk to me. So, I mean, I always felt like I was meant to do something in life at some point, is what I felt like.
Yeah, something better than getting high.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of negative energy, dude. And, I paid a big karma bill.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, maybe I didn't serve the amount of prison time that I should have, but I was in rehab. I lost my family. I lost their trust. To this day, my mom, I'm almost 10 years clean. I'll be 10 years clean next year. I don't think she 100% trusts me.
Really?
No. I think my dad does, but not my mom.
I mean, dude, a decade straight of addiction will do that, you know?
It was that, but that's just, I want people to understand that's how, traumatizing it is for the parents and the people that, love you and stuff.
Yep. Sounds like you're about to flip the scale, though, where you're about to have been sober longer than you were getting high.
We're there.
You're there,
We're
dude.
really close,
It's
which is
fucking
crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. How do you I guess this is skipping ahead a little bit. We got a lot more, but 9 years deep into sobriety, I mean, how do you stay sober?
Well, I mean, I'm not 100% sober.
For sure, but I mean,
I'm
off
heroin. I'm off
how
hard
do you,
drugs.
does it call to you every now and then?
Never.
Or? Really?
Never. I never think about it.
Coke still talks to me a lot.
Really?
Dude. Coke talks to me a lot, bro.
Does it really?
Oh, yeah. In the back of my head. For me, when I quit Coke, I wasn't having physical withdrawals like you probably got dope sick with heroin. But
the mental
it
cravings
was
are
totally,
insane.
dude, the craziest mental addiction.
I mean,
ever.
I'll be honest. I've done cocaine within the last 10 years a little bit here and there.
I've done it since I quit, for sure. I mean,
it's
every
just
now
not, to me, I don't even look at it as like an addictive drug. But it is for some people.
and then. For sure, yeah.
For sure. I know a lot of people that have their life ruined by it.
If you can genuinely use drugs in a recreational, way and not get addicted, more power to you.
That's what I found out I just cut out heroin.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not, let's just be clear here. I'm not using drugs regularly.
Yeah. You're not sitting
These
here.
are very, very isolated incidents. If
He didn't
ever
rip
at
any
all.
lines before we
Disclaimer.
started.
Yeah, no. This is like, and honestly, recently, it has not been recent. So this would be even some years back.
Yeah.
Type shit. But to me, I classify addiction less about the day. I mean, I do have my, the March 3rd, 2016 sobriety date is when I was done with heroin. But I consider that day was the day that I decided that I wanted something different. I feel like that's really what, to me, to beat addiction, you're not beating you're beating taking the drug itself, but it's more you're beating this lifestyle and this behavior and these choices that you're making. You're choosing to combat that. Yep. And then it's everything, once you look at it, I'm choosing to combat, being a heroin addict. I don't want to be a heroin addict. So it's you need to I can't explain it. I wanted to go beast mode is what I say. I wanted to go no, I mean, it sounds corny, but I wanted something else. And I just remember that I wanted to feel I'm trying to articulate this because it's very hard. Mm-hmm. When you, I wanted to show that I could do it, but I finally flipped the switch and I remember when it happened, it was so progressive. And then one day it just clicked. Because when I was in Cook County Jail, even though I wound up using my last month of time I did, my mind had opened up to the possibility that I could be done with this, and I wanted to try something else. Yeah. So then when it actually happened, the last time I shot dope, I did a ceremony, dude, and I did it. My grandmother, all right, Nani, she passed away. I did it with her in the house, and I remember I just said goodbye to it, and I just kissed the syringe, and I threw it away, and that was the last time I ever did it, and I've never thought of it since. Yeah,
that's interesting.
It is
so you
interesting.
That's super different than pretty much anyone else's last time story I've ever heard.
Because I feel like I was just saying goodbye with it. My brain had internalized it that I had beaten the game. I feel like that's how I beat it. And I feel like maybe that's what holds some people back. I don't think there's one right way to stop addiction. I don't think there's a cookie cutter recipe for it. I think every case is unique and ubiquitous and needs to be, it just depends on the person's, what their intent is in life. What do they want to do? For me, when I just realized, I want to go pro in Halo. I was 27 at the time, I was 27, 28, and I wanted to go pro in Halo. And and I internalized this ball of energy into that. And all the suffering and misery that I had, sustained, throughout the years of addiction. And I had finally put this in the correct format with Halo 5, but remember, I didn't even stream. I didn't even fucking stream for the first 6-7 months.
Yeah.
When I was in the garage, or not the garage, my talent's fucked up. My mom's walk-in closet. So yeah.
Shout out mom for sparing the closet,
Yeah, she was, I wouldn't be allowed to leave after 10 p.m. She locked the door on the outside. It was literally smaller than a jail cell.
So you couldn't leave the closet?
No. And I said, what if I have to piss? She said, then don't drink water after a certain time.
What the fuck?
Obviously that didn't happen, so I started pissing.
Yeah, you gotta piss.
I started pissing in cups and calling it Red Bull. Dead serious.
What? She would just clean it up in the morning, or what?
I mean, I would just let it sit there. I was fucking weird. I would just like dump it in the morning.
Wait. There's no way that she wouldn't open the closet in the morning and it didn't reek of piss.
It probably
right?
did. I mean, I guess maybe she wouldn't open it. She would just unlock the door and like go on with her day. Like I was a fucking gremlin.
It's like letting the dog out of the cage or something.
Yeah.
She's just unlocked that shit.
Yeah.
Dog's out.
I mean, these were the very, very early days. This is like right when I was off the streets when like no one trusted me. They thought I was gonna rob the house.
So it makes sense that she was doing
sense.
that, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm still kind of shocked by the way that you described the last time you got high.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a literal ceremony.
That's crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
One of the things that you had mentioned happening before that a little bit that kind of caught my attention too is you said you were in a crack house while it got raided?
Oh yeah, that happened multiple times. There was one time where it got raided and me and one of my guys that I was with, we went into this old cabinet in the attic and we were like crouched in there and there was like syringes that had no caps on them. Mm-hmm. All around us, and there was like so we couldn't move.
It's like a minefield.
There was dude, we could have gotten AIDS, hepatitis, whatever.
AIDS field.
So we just sat there. We couldn't move. We couldn't breathe, and we were just sitting there, crumpled up. And the police didn't do a thorough search. If they could have just opened the door and they would have seen us there.
So were they just looking for like certain
they were
people
like
there?
just like anyone here?
Okay.
Type shit. Because we were upstairs already. So like we like got in there and I was like kicking syringes before they walked up the stairs and like blowing dust out of dude, it was.
How many times were you there while places got raided?
Fucking 10 plus times.
Damn. I remember there was one time where that had happened to a friend of mine. I had left a bag of weed at his house, and he told me his house got raided, but I feel like he lied to me. But
I mean,
that's the only near experience I've ever had. I've never been there while that happened. That's got to be scary as fuck.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It is scary as fuck. But what's crazier is that I deal with the police more now than I did then.
Really?
For no reason.
Yeah. It's
That
a
was for
different
no
dynamic
reason,
now,
yeah.
though, you know? I feel like now you can at least be more comfortable with it.
Yeah, but like they'll still run my name and I'll have to explain what's going on and then I have to be humble and then
They'll see your past and then you're fucked.
But then they start trying to pass judgment on me. I'm like, dude, I don't want to go there with you, man, but
Yeah.
I will do that with you. I don't even want to say like the comments that I've made to police officers about their livelihoods.
Yep.
But I'm just saying like I try to keep it balanced.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think cops suck. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've dealt with more bad than good, but there are a lot of, there's good cops.
For sure. Every now and then there's a guy where it's like, hey, you're not half bad.
Right.
But yeah, I'd say probably 9 out of 10 cops just suck dick.
Yeah.
You know? So when you had gotten high for the last time, you had your ceremony and kind of said your goodbyes. Mm-hmm. What happened after that? Did you go to rehab or like how'd you get sober?
No. Actually, I was an outpatient rehab.
Okay. And that worked for you?
Dude, it's funny you say that. Out of all the rehabs that I was in, dude, this is where like, I don't know. I can't explain it, bro.
I did outpatient too. Nobody was sober.
I did them too. I mean, we skipped some of the rehabs, some of we've skipped some of the details of my story because it would take just days to tell it all. But basically,
do the longest episode.
Yeah, we could do that, sure. Then basically what happened was wait, what? I just spaced out. What were
we were talking about like you were in outpatient rehab.
Yeah. So out of all the rehabs I had been to, everything, all the lawyers, everything, it was this rehab, this outpatient rehab that was actually that closed, and it was closing when I was there. Mm-hmm. But for whatever reason, and this is why I like believe in fate or whatever, I watched this motivational speaker. His name was Eric Thomas. He's this black guy from Detroit.
Okay.
And dude, there was a couple speeches that they played, bro. I don't know what the fuck it was. I was just ready to hear it.
He spoke to you.
He fucking spoke to me, dude.
Damn.
He spoke to me, and the video was so intense, bro. And I remember like the numerical references, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 7 to 10. I just remember hearing that and like looking back on it, like throughout my Twitch metric growth before I switched over to Kick. Like I just remember like seeing like how like the numbers correlated to like certain things that he said in that speech. So like I can't explain it, man. It was weird. It was very weird, but
something just clicked in your brain. It sounds like
something clicked, dude. I just can't explain it, dude. That was the day. Now that was the day when I walked home and like I was confident before I was done, but I still maybe had some like I don't know, man, vibes. Even though I had like been done with the heroin, but then that day happened, and that's when it just locked me in to my future, dude. That was the day I was like, I'm gonna be pro in Halo. Now that didn't wind up happening, but I did wind up making this a career. So I guess,
So you were able to have the the mental strength to somehow stay sober while not being fully like physically cut off from access to heroin? Obviously,
I was done. No Suboxone.
Wow.
This time I had no Suboxone. I never did methadone.
Really?
No, I tried it to get high, but like I never.
I mean, it's good that you got sober without
no,
those,
but this
'cause
time
you'd probably still be addicted.
there was
to one.
that shit's terrible. That's just poison. But there was no Suboxone, no detox. I can't do it was like this mentality. I still have it to this day, but like back then it was so new, and I was like, damn, I just knew I was gonna do something. I can't explain. And that's why the only thing that stuck for me is AA and NA is the don't quit before the miracle happens. That's the one thing I remember is that one. And
Did you go to a lot of meetings?
Yeah, I did. Thousands.
Really?
I can't even tell. I lost count.
They're kind of a good time. I've been to NA. I haven't done AA.
I've been to both so many times. I got mixed reviews about it. It just kind of depends where you're at in life. I believe that you don't need it at all, but I've seen it work great for some people. So once again, that's where I say, well, then just whatever works for you.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Don't shove it down anyone's throat. But if this guy is benefiting from it, sure, maybe look into it. I don't fucking know.
Whatever, get you sober, I think is the right path. Like, it doesn't really matter how you get there, It's interesting, too, that you say that, because just a couple weeks ago, we had this dude on named Pat Ridge who owns a sober living house that's like up in Hollywood here. Or I don't know if it's around here, but it's beyond the point. Either way, he came on and he told me that he believes that because I'm able to smoke weed and not be chronically addicted to it, that I'm not a real drug addict. What are your thoughts on that take?
Say that again.
So, all right, for example, I'm just gonna reenact it. So, like, you smoke weed, you take Adderall, right?
Not when I smoke weed constantly throughout the day. I do not take Adderall unless I feel I need to take it to do something extreme.
So imagine if I said to you, like, hey, because you're able to smoke weed and take Adderall and it hasn't completely ruined your life, you're not a real drug addict.
I sort of agree with that.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Is he happy and successful?
Who, the person who said this?
Yeah. Or the only way it could be.
He told me how he walked in on two black guys fucking his wife, and
well,
like,
then, did that?
He can't be
He
happy.
probably wasn't
that.
happy about
I
that.
don't know, man. Like, he can't.
The only drug abuse there was Viagra. Wait, yeah, I'm saying I don't know if that was related to his drug problem, then obviously I'd probably investigate that, right?
Yes.
I'd look into that. But I agree with what he's saying because if he's happy. If you're happy and successful and you're content with it's your mentality. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you could, I guess it would have to if you could somehow apply that to where if you were doing heroin every day and you were happy, that wouldn't be likely. Mm-hmm. That just wouldn't be a likely scenario. But let's just say if that somehow was a scenario, then I would agree with that still. But that's just due to the nature of heroin and how opiates work. That's just not a likely scenario. So what he's referring to is probably more of a cocaine, pill, weed addiction. Not to say those aren't serious addictions. Some people maybe smoke weed and they're not heroin addicts, but they just sat around and did nothing.
For sure.
You didn't die, you didn't hurt anyone, but you did nothing. Mm-hmm. Was that a bad addiction? I would say so. So so I feel like you could take that weed philosophy. Obviously, our lives, other people's lives that smoke weed, they're doing great, they're doing fine. So it's I do believe you could put that into any drug. It's just the certain addictions aren't going to make that a possible philosophy.
Interesting. That's not the take I expected, honestly.
No, I know. And over time, I've become more of an extremist with my takes on addiction.
Really?
Because I just feel like the other takes, if you look at the success rate, they're just not working. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of success rate with harder drugs, particularly heroin and crystal meth. So it's I'm open to more of just California clean. To me, weed is I encourage weed to a newer
for sure. Me
addict,
too.
Heroin addict.
Me too.
It's your brain's so understimulated that they're craving the drug so much. Unless you have my ironclad mentality that I had, that basically took me getting shit on in life 10 years to get, which most people aren't going to make in 2025. You're not going to live that long. Yep. You're going to die from fentanyl.
Yeah, that fent OD is hitting soon.
You're going to die.
Now they got the xylazine and shit.
Yeah,
too.
so
It's
now
much
you're in a basically you're battling. It's a day-to-day battle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Any day your parents could get the call. You could die any day.
100%.
So that's my take on that. I feel like it's maybe I don't know, a controversial take, but
I don't
just
think
feel
so.
like if you're doing great, if you're driving a fucking Ferrari and you're doing cocaine and you're fucking drinking, and if you're doing it every day, but you're happy. See, but remember, I'm saying happy and successful. So if you're miserable, but you have money, that's when I would still say it's a problem. I would say you have to be happy and successful. So you can't have one without the other. If you're happy, but you're fucking homeless, that's also not good. You see what I'm saying? So it's like.
Well, all right, hypothetical. What if this guy is choosing to be homeless? He loves it. He's successful being
in
homeless.
his own right.
Is that like?
It's a possibility for that to be a take. It's a possible take.
Have you seen?
It's an extreme take. I have seen this take very seldomly.
Have you seen the guys who build the 2-story like tweaker houses out here?
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen them in person yet, but
Dude, I've driven past a few of them. They'll build like second stories with like windows and
just
shit.
with liquid was perfect accuracy.
Dude, literally, they'll steal wood from like Home Depot and just build houses on wheels out of it. And then when the cops come and tell them to move, they just wheel them up the fucking corner.
It's funny. These guys are crazy.
So, you had really had some kind of iron mental fortitude.
Yeah.
That
but it wasn't hard to do though at the time. It wasn't even hard.
Because you wanted it.
I just wanted it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's there. It can be done because, like, I was in a rock bottom situation.
Yeah, you weren't forcing yourself to get sober. Like, you genuinely, sobriety sounded better than where you were at.
No, see, let me. This is what. No, being a winner sounded better than where I was at.
Okay, that makes more sense. And being a winner required sobriety.
Correct. I did do without weed for a little while.
That sounds tough.
I did do without weed, but like to me, the weed, like. I worked at Mariano's Deli. This is like a little tidbit, but like.
Oh, Mariano's is fired.
My first time I smoked weed after like the long ass break, we were biking with one of my coworkers, and like I was so high I bit one of my hangnails in his garage and I didn't realize it, and I was pedaling my bike back. I was like moving my bike. Oh yeah, I was on a bike because my mom didn't trust me to have a car, so I had a bike from the townhouse to work where I worked there for 14 days and I quit, and then I got stopped by a cop, and there was blood all over my hand and arm from the hangnail.
Oh, no.
But I didn't know because I bit so hard on it. And I just thought it was a funny story. My first time smoking weed. I didn't have any weed on me or anything. And it was legal by then, too.
Honestly, I count smoking weed as still sobriety.
That's what I say.
Like, I don't think smoking weed changes sobriety.
No.
I say I'm sober. I take shrooms and weed all the time.
I say you're sober as long as it's I mean, you can't say you're sober if you're like using a harder drug, but you can say like, I'm not an addict. You can easily say that, like for sure.
For sure.
It's possible.
Yeah. I think like for a lot of drug addicts too, just going completely cold turkey off every mind-altering substance is like not realistic. Like you fucking can't.
I just noticed that like maybe it's because I'm more aggressive. My online persona is maybe more aggressive, which kind of sucks. I get called a drug addict all day, 24/7.
Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. It just bothers me that like there are drug addicts, and I have lost people to drug addiction a lot. So like I just feel like they're taking a shot at them.
Yep.
So that I feel like I'm defending them.
Yep.
Sort of.
In like a way. I feel that.
And I've noticed like you don't really get those comments. You don't really get like to this day, if I like respond to certain like Twitter accounts or I like do certain things, I'll get like now granted we're not the same people online. So I mean some of this I don't want to say I have coming, but there's some misunderstandings of me, so I come off, a certain way.
For sure. We'll get to those too.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. I definitely, for me at least, I get comments that are like, I think my most common thing is people say like, oh, like he's clearly like still, not sober. He's an active drug addict. Like he seems coked up in this. I feel like those offend me a little bit. For sure. Like, in a weird way, because, my whole time making content, it's like, yeah, bro, all my shit's about drugs pretty much. So, like, obviously the viewer's going to think, oh, this guy's a fucking cokehead. He does drugs every day. But it's also like, in my head, when I see those comments that are like, oh, yeah, he probably never even quit coke, I almost get offended a little bit, Right.
It's a lot of them are also, like, internalizing maybe if you have a personality or have some energy, they're just not maybe the smartest people ever, and they're just thinking
for sure.
They just might genuinely think you're on cocaine. They tell me I'm on coke all the time.
The internet sucks
never do that
because you never know who's behind the screen. You don't know who the fuck you're arguing with.
Right.
Like you could be arguing with just some absolute fucking retard.
And I still, if you look at, we follow each other. I still do it to this day. I don't know if you've seen my.
I've seen some of your recent Twitter beefs for sure.
I'm trying to like.
You get into it, dude.
I get into it, and the thing is, some of these accounts have like 28 followers. Like, what am I doing? Like, and that just takes me back. Like, I'm more of an old school guy. I'll be 36 in September. I just feel like, all right, this guy's shit talking me.
You feel the need to clap back.
I'm not factoring in like this is not how anyone professional does anything. This looks retarded. This makes me look weak and stupid. But it's like, well, fuck that. This guy's shit talking me.
Yep. Dude, it took me, I still like, I try to be better about it. Years ago, I used to play a fuckload of Call of Duty. So like you played Halo, you know how it is, dude.
Played some COD,
the shit talking is, you know,
it's
like built in, you know? And when I stopped playing COD, it's like I carried that to Twitter. It's like if someone came on Twitter, you know, they call me a fat retard, which they do every day, you know? Back in 8 years ago, I'm clapping back.
Right.
It took me a while to finally realize like, yeah, there is like a different playing field you're on than them. You know,
Right.
when you stoop down, it's bad.
I just know that too. I just don't get why. I can't get right or something. Like I don't know.
Like in the moment, it's just hard for you
I've
to
gotten
think
better.
like that.
I've gotten better. Now I try to target it to where if it happens, I can at least gain followers from it.
Do you block people at all?
Yeah.
I block hella people.
I
dude.
block people because I like to get the last word in and then block them.
Yes, bro. I do that shit.
Got
Yo,
to.
that shit is heat, dude.
That's just heat.
Some motherfucker comes up under my tweet saying dumb shit.
I don't have the time to go back and forth with them all day.
I hit them with a nasty ratio and a block, and then it's over with, dude. And then they can go argue with like
The sub
my
comments.
followers. You know, they can go argue with my followers.
I've seen some of those fights. I've seen some fights drag on for
I'll be getting
hours
tagged
on
like 3 days later on
I've
shit.
seen that shit go on. Especially like where like everyone feels like they're correct and has to be right about whatever they're saying.
Yeah. Twitter's become so much more toxic in the past like year or
it's
so.
a far
too.
right wing. It's almost an extremist app.
It's nuts. It's always been politically leaning, like no matter the direction.
Right.
But for sure, there was a time where I couldn't drop a hard R on the timeline and not get banned.
Right.
And now you can just fucking do that.
Yeah.
Which is
I have no idea
insanity to me.
what they're going on over there, what they're doing.
Fucking crazy. So, kind of taking it back to, you know,
Yeah, my bad.
on track on this. Oh, no, you're good, dude. We're chilling.
We're just cruising.
We're just cruising. So, when you would kind of quit, you're trying to become a pro Halo player.
Yeah.
And how
That's
long
why.
were you giving that a go?
2 years.
And did you start streaming during that time too?
So the first 6 months, I actually didn't stream at all.
Okay.
I was just getting my gameplay better, and I didn't know how to go pro. It wasn't until my boy T-Burner told me, I remember the account name and shit. He was like, dude, you want to go pro, you have to stream. So I didn't know what streaming meant. I'm like, what the fuck is streaming? Literally, I didn't even know what it was.
Not a clue.
So so I set up my Xbox account, and I made, so I waited 6 months. I set up the Twitch account. I set up the Twitch account like a few months before, but I was just like a viewer going to other people's chats or whatever. And then I made my Twitch account. But by the time I started streaming on my Xbox, people already knew who I was because for 6 months I'd been fucking screaming or silent raging. I had to so my mom would sleep in the other room, so I had to like whisper rage at night.
Is this while you're still in the closet?
This is why I'm still in the closet. So like,
fuck you.
there was only actually few closet streams where I was actually live whispering. I still had to be quiet, but I actually wound up getting a room down the hallway so I could be a little louder.
Nice.
So yeah, when I first went live, my first stream, I got like 30, 35 viewers.
That's fucking.
That's insane.
That's a lot.
That's
dude.
a lot. But that was because people knew who I was from raging in fucking my on Xbox or before I was live. It was just literally me. So I was doing it before I was ever streaming the exact same content. I wasn't streaming it. So like when I went live, some people knew, I had like a little grassroots of people who knew who I was from just playing matchmaking all day.
All the homies pulled up.
They pulled
They're like,
up.
What's up?
And
dude?
then they never left, really. Some of them never left.
So how fast after you started streaming did it progress into like, oh, I'm gonna take this seriously?
Well, I didn't really understand that like pulling, and you gotta remember, this is 2017, 2018.
Yep.
So what's considered good now, I don't know what really, I mean, I do know it is, but I'm saying like 60 to 100 viewers back then was very, very good.
That's nuts.
That's like, you're a top 1% streamer, basically.
You're making a living.
You're making a living, basically. So I went from like 30 viewers to 60 viewers within like a month. I mean, we could pull it. We would have to pull a Twitch tracker, but you could pull it up and see it. But we were like going from like 30 to 60-ish, and then we went to 100. I would say after like the first like 6 months to a year, I realized that like I wasn't gonna go pro, but like maybe I don't remember the exact time frame. I would say after the first year, I realized I wasn't gonna go pro, but I would still go to the tournaments to like promote the brand and like be a part of the Halo community.
Yep.
And I wound up getting to like 150 viewers, 200 viewers on Halo 5. And that's what kind of got my foot in the door. And yeah, then Halo 5 died and they brought back MCC for tournaments, which is Halo 3. So I streamed that. I actually wound up getting more viewers on that than I did Halo 5.
Really?
For Twitch, yeah. But the time, but I and that's when I also started streaming Fortnite. So that's when I started mixing in Fortnite.
Fortnite did come out in like what, 2017?
Yeah.
Fuck.
But I didn't start. I first played it. I didn't like it. I thought it was the gayest, stupidest thing ever, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I didn't. I literally was playing it the day it came out. I played it the day it came out. I literally played Fortnite the first day it came out.
Dude, if you liked it and you saved that account, you could have sold it.
I know.
For some good
I
money.
don't even know where it went. It was like a. I don't want to say it was a Steam account, but like when the game first came out, I think it was a little. I don't. I have to check it, but I remember it being not on Epic or something. Maybe it was
when it first came out. I think you're right because I played it. It had been out for a month or two, and I think even then it wasn't on Epic yet.
Yeah, no, yeah. So then I started. I didn't lean into Fortnite yet, and then around late 18 with MCC, I started throwing in Fortnite, and I would lose viewers, but I was gaining followers. So I would lose my 100 to 200, like my 200 viewers, they would drop to like 30 or 60, but I started gaining more followers every stream.
Yep. You were widening your audience.
I was widening my audience, and to me, this was the hardest part of my like career, streaming career. And once again, I keep bringing it up. This was a time there was no IRLs. There was no fucking like if you were in FaZe Clan just because you were a big ass YouTuber or you were a pro player,
it was all gaming content.
It was
on
gaming
streams,
content.
much.
You had to be a professional player.
Yep.
Top player in the world skill wise. So it's like I was really good, but I was not a top fucking 8 player on the planet. I just wasn't. I don't know. For whatever reason, it just wasn't. But I was really good. I could hang with them. I just wasn't that good. So then fucking I started throwing that. I started taking the viewer hit, and those streams were really hard. Even though like we were getting some traction, like we were like I'd lose viewers, and you just have to stream through it, man.
I mean, it's got to be tough on your mental.
It was tough on my mental, but then slowly through MCC and just consistent MCC, I would go from Halo to Fortnite. So I was dual streaming games to keep the Halo audience while trying to expand on Fortnite.
Yep.
And now I tried PUBG. I would go down to 18 viewers on PUBG too sometimes.
Oh fuck.
This is before Fortnite. Yeah, it was bad.
That's a dip.
That was a dip. And that was like my deadest chat. That was like I remember that because the game was just hard to stream. And then Fortnite definitely the only thing that kept me going was that like I kept getting more and more followers. And then I remember I was watching some streamers. Then I saw the streamer name. It was T-Hump or Thump, whatever his name was.
Yep.
He was doing Fortnite fills, and he was a funny guy. It was funny streams, and I just remember like he was funny, but I was like I feel like I could do this better. I feel like I could because I didn't know what to do because my issue was the skill. I was on mouse and keyboard at first. I should have been on controller earlier, but the skill gap in Fortnite just kept getting bigger and bigger. It was really fast, so I was struggling with that. So then I just took that concept. I wanted to do duo fills and squad fills, and that's the content that I started trying to like find and get for like just to try to grow the stream. And I wasn't even thinking about posting it on TikTok, and I would actually shit on TikTok a lot.
Oh shit!
Constantly.
What's wrong with TikTok?
Nothing. I just thought it was like I thought everything was fake, and I would hate it, and I would just be like, I don't want to use this. I think it's for like liberal like.
I also refused to use TikTok for a long time.
Yeah,
took me a while to come around.
It's the literal most life-changing one out of all of them.
100%. Yeah,
you can get results overnight, which is basically what happens. So then, as I'm streaming Halo and Fortnite, I'm trying to get the timeline correct here, but I eventually matched Chica. She's a streamer. She's great.
I think I've heard of her. She's pretty famous. Yeah,
she's big. She's really big, and I recognized her name in the game chat, and I was like, "Fuck, let's go, chat!" Like, cause I didn't stream Sniper. It was pure chance, and I was like, "This is my chance." I was muted up. I was like, "Chat, let me lock in here," and I'm trying to be funny and like witty, cause she had like fucking like 5,000 or 6,000 viewers at the time playing Fortnite.
It's like you're on main stage.
Yeah,
here.
I'm finally on main stage, dude. And I'm like getting ready for my chance, and of course we land, and I fucking die, dude.
No,
but the rage was so authentic. I literally had a meltdown on an open mic on accident. The mic was supposed to be closed, but it was open, and I had the worst meltdown ever. I was like basically crying. And like, but I guess it was so funny to them and her audience. She wound up inviting
Her
me
stream
back.
picked up your rage?
Yeah.
Oh,
they were hearing me fucking.
Perfect moment, dude.
Yeah, it was an accident. But then she invited me back, and then, the rest is kind of history with her. She really helped me out a lot. I mean, I would say she really, really did a lot for me. And then after that, that was basically when I met her. That was probably the last time I ever streamed Halo. Was around then. Was right around that time. I'd have to pull the exact time, last Halo stream, but and then I fucking met this one random kid one day, dude, named Kevin, dude, and fucking the clips just I remember one day we were arguing about a Fortnite skin, and someone clipped it and uploaded it to YouTube and TikTok, and it just fucking exploded right away into the millions of views on a random channel that wasn't
Probably
mine.
made some good money off you, eh?
They did. So actually, I just realized that I don't want to say I had a gold mine, but the content was so funny. It was so good.
You knew you had something
I
going.
knew I had something. So then I just leaned into it, and every day, this kid was like a 12-year-old Mexican kid, so he could say the N-word on Twitch, and like him being 12, that pulled in all the TikTok audience that I could never touch because of me. Mm-hmm. So the way the dynamics worked, like Kevin would ask for a clip, like he'd call it the gay skin or the pretty princess skin or some glizzy skin he'd ask for, and like I just kept farming these clips, dude, and like they kept fucking blowing up, dude. And my TikTok account went from like 10K to like 1.1 million.
Wow.
And then I got banned on live. So I made another one, and that one shot to 800K. I had both the accounts, yeah. So like I got to 2 million followers basically, like out of thin air. My stream went from like 500 viewers to like 2 to 3K a stream.
So the content you did with Kevin is really what you'd say blew you the fuck up.
Absolutely. It's I get stopped in public all the time from these clips to this day.
When I type your name in on YouTube, that's like the first thing that comes up.
All, and the thing is, all the things that blew up on my channel, if you look at the first video, there's a rage bar through it. It's because that guy watermarked it.
Oh.
He watermarked all those videos. Those weren't even my uploads. He got all those clips.
That's so fucked up.
I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't understand what was happening. The clips were just performing so well on so many accounts. Everyone started up. It was like the Andrew Tate method before Andrew Tate. And the thing was, I just didn't know what was going on. I thought they were like stealing, so I tried to stop it. I wasn't successful.
Yeah.
Thank God. But I'm saying like it just wound up there's all these like random accounts that have tens of millions and there's like billions of views literally of these clips on all these accounts to this day.
I think it's one of the best things about like the current kind of ecosystem though, is that you can have all these people that can promote you indirectly by clipping your content, and then they make a living for it.
Yeah.
So they have more incentive to keep promoting you.
Yeah, way
and it's
more.
a win-win. You're gonna make more money. Fucking when it's funny to hear you say how you tried to stop it at first, because I remember the first couple times I saw like goblin clip channels, I got pissed.
Right.
Dude.
You're like, how dare you?
What the fuck, dude? You're stealing
making
my
money off
fucking
you.
shit. Yeah, and I did try to do that. I tried to strike him down and shit. And then I realized, like, wait, this guy's helping me.
They're helping you.
Like, this is good.
Literally, it's the best thing possible.
I felt so bad when that clicked in my head. I was like, oh, I should have never.
Yeah, I felt bad
Fuck
too,
those
but I was
first couple
3
times.
years later when I was
You feel
years.
protective of your content, though.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is like, it's almost like a fucking, like a lion with its baby, you know? It's like, yeah, I'll fuck you up for that. Yeah. So after you link up with Kevin and start making this content that blows the fuck up, how quick does your life change?
Well, this is actually the funny part. We were during the pandemic when this was happening.
Okay.
So I'm never leaving my house.
Oh,
And
so this is
when
the perfect storm.
This
dude.
is the perfect
Fortnite,
storm.
pandemic, you just blew up.
This is the perfect storm. So here's the thing. My life changed, but not, well, actually, yeah. It all led to change. But so I blew up. But the thing was, I didn't understand how big, because we had mask laws in Illinois. So whenever I'd go out, I was wearing a mask. So like nobody ever ID'd me. So I didn't really understand the magnitude of what was happening or how big the clips had gotten. Because it got to the point where like they were ripping my face and like Kevin's voice, and they were making animated movies, putting me on Grand Theft Auto and Roblox. I mean, they were like massively viral. Like to this day, they still are. And fucking so then I started trying to get the pieces of the story in order. It led to me like getting noticed by like Aiden Ross. I started getting the collabs, the E-date. That led to me getting the priorities to get into the E-dates that I wound up performing and winning. So I started pulling a lot of Aiden Ross viewers.
And what were the E-dates for those that aren't familiar?
They're like it's like 10 to 15 guys, and they're competing for like a girl.
Oh shit!
Whoever wins, yeah. And I'll be honest, I was basically the only white guy in a lot of them, or there'd be one other one. So like, it was just like, it was a good vibes. It was like I was kind of like the underdog.
You stood out.
I stood out.
Yeah.
And I was kind of underdog. And it was a great era. I mean, a lot of people would say like that was like the peak era on Twitch with the Among Us era into the E-Dates.
COVID era was different,
it was
dude.
a different era. It was a different time. So, I mean, fucking, yeah. So that it led to that. And then it eventually led to where, wait, see, I don't even know if we can mention the name of you could edit this out, right?
What? Yeah.
Steak. So then I wound
I
up.
think you can still say their name. You just can't like show the website and stuff. But yeah, you can name them.
Okay, so then context. So like mid 2002 or whatever, I wound up getting with Steak then, and I mean, they've changed my life completely. So I mean, that led to that, and then we wound up moving to Cancun. After streaming Fortnite, I moved from the townhouse. Trying to get this all in chronological order here, and I'm missing some details. But I moved from the townhouse where I started originally making the clips into a different house. And I was in that house, and that's where I made the rage wall. I would just fucking break shit all day. And that's what that content was. I'd be breaking shit, playing with Kevin, doing the E-Dates, did some Grand Theft Auto at the end. And then we went to Cancun, and we added, steak segments, they were all life-changing.
Yeah.
And
those gambling sponsors don't fucking play, dude.
They changed my life, and they still are more than ever actually now. So I mean, I'm very, very grateful for Steak and Kick. Also, we haven't even gotten to that point yet. So this is when we're on Twitch at this point. This is before Kick even existed. So then,
this is back when you could still gamble on Twitch.
Yeah, this is when you could
totally different.
Yeah, this is that's what I'm saying. People don't understand. It's a different time now. So then we were on Twitch, and I was doing the E-Dates in Fortnite, and the slots were performing well. And then, but the Fortnite streams weren't performing as well because I was in a rented house in Cancun that we couldn't destroy how we used to. I tried to encompass some of the elements, but it was harder to do. And that's where, and then I met, I started inviting, this is when I started inviting like girls over and stuff. This is when I I started inviting girls over during the Aiden Ross E-Date, try to expand my content. And, this was right before I moved to Cancun. So that's when it started, loosely. And then it went to Cancun. I did it some more there, and I was in Cancun for like 6-7 months. And then during this, the Fortnite viewership was dropping. My Fortnite viewership was dropping because it was missing a lot of the element of the stream, dude.
Yep. I mean, I think the game just started to die.
The game started to fall off a little bit too, as well. And also like some of the slots and stuff, it was just making my audience resentful and like, as weird as that sounds, they didn't like me streaming slots.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of curious. I'm probably going to ask too. Like, switching from gaming content to gambling content is a big change. You probably got a lot of hate.
A lot.
How'd you deal with it? Like,
well, that was actually really hard.
Okay.
Because I watched like 5-year subs like turn on me and shit and get weird. And I mean, that still happens now, but I'm more trained to it, and it's more expected. But I just didn't expect it. I didn't know really, how to handle it as well as I do now, and it's like a lot of life is a learning experience,
Yeah.
So then they banned Steak on Twitch, so then I moved back. And then I was going to move back anyways. Even if they didn't ban Steak on Twitch, I was going to. And I was going to go somewhere else to do Steak, but they wound up banning it, so we were done with Steak for then. So then we moved back to Chicago, and I brought back, it was in my dad's new house that he was working on. It wasn't even ready to be completed. And we were... this is when I was doing Fortnite, and I just noticed my numbers were just dropping, dude. At first, I had an increase because I was doing the rage content again.
Yeah.
But then they started dropping again. And I was like, dude, we are in fucking trouble, dude. And I didn't know what to do, really. And then, it was like an act of God. Kick came out, and it allowed me to, I went over, and I was actually shit-talking it when it first came out because I just put so much effort into Twitch. I was like, blah, blah. I was just like an idiot, did not knowing what I was saying, right? Because I was just like, I couldn't, grasp that this might be the end of my Twitch run or whatever. Because I had just put so many hours into it, you know what I mean? So then I went on, I finally got convinced to go on Kick by my buddy Bames. He's like, just do Monkey App or Omega, just Monkey App, just do that in farm clips for a little bit and just try it. And then my first stream there, dude, I just blew up because it was a brand new site. There were so many eyes on it. Aiden Ross had just, said that he was going over there.
Everyone's looking for other streamers and shit.
Right. And I was doing these Monkey App streams, and dude, I still do them to this day, not as much, but I still do them. And I was just so good at it.
Yep.
And I was so funny at it, and I would make the streams so entertaining. I still do. I just don't do it as much because of the IRL component and other things. I still do them, though. I do them like 4 times a month, once a week. And then, that just blew the channel up on Kick. And then fucking wound up streaming less and less on Twitch every day. And then I just said, fuck it, we're gonna make this choice, or we're gonna make the call here. And I stuck with Kick, and it was the smartest decision I've ever made. And it's been a life-changing decision, and it's been. I went from and then from Chicago, I moved to LA. Some people convinced me to move to LA, and then I started the OnlyFans girl era, where I started just constantly having girls on stream and mixing it in with party streams, and it was just something different my audience had never seen.
Yep.
So it expanded it, but I lost some. But I was growing it more than I lost.
Doing those like IRL, almost like fucking brain rot streams.
Oh, they are brain rot.
Is so like.
It's
I feel
100%
like
brain rot.
The perfect clip farm scenario.
It's a total brain rot disaster, basically.
It works, though.
It works
it
works for some time. Mm-hmm. Like the crash out, burnout stuff, you can do it. You have to do it correctly, and you can only do it for so long. So
you have to build upon it.
You have to build upon it.
You can't just do that
No,
forever.
exactly, because it's not sustainable.
That makes you come up, though. Like,
correct.
I feel like all the new streamers...
They don't have the discipline and the skill to recognize certain patterns, and, it's just... It comes with practice.
Mm-hmm. So I'm really interested too. You're the first like gambling streamer I've ever talked to.
Really?
I have like on Twitter and stuff, I've chatted with a couple homies who have like stake deals or like other sites, but you're the first one I've actually gotten to sit down and like have this kind of conversation with.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued about it because I've gotten gambling offers. They offer stupid amounts of money. Mm-hmm. I never took it. Do you ever like, especially being someone that's a former addict, do you ever have trouble like not getting addicted to gambling?
Never.
When you do it so much?
Oh, never.
Do you not enjoy it, or why is that?
I do enjoy it, but I just view it like, I just like doing it live. I want to just do it when I'm live. You know what I mean? I love it when I'm live, but I just don't do it when I'm offline.
So how exactly does it work when you do like a sponsored gambling stream? Do they say like, you got this amount of money for today, or what happens?
Yeah, like you get a raw balance, see what you say here, and then, you want to, show them a good time and, use as much of the raw balance to, entertain the audience and just, make it as fun and entertaining as possible. And, you want to like people that are on, your code or, supporting you, you want to try and support them and just show how fun it is. Cause it is fun. I really enjoy it. A lot of people really enjoy it. Some people just have a hard time, knowing when to stop.
So is the money that like your raw balance for the day, if you win a bunch, like, is that just fun money that you can't withdraw, or what?
No, that's real money. It's like
really,
yes.
So then, are they paying you like outside of that deposit, or are you gambling your daily paycheck?
That's what you're doing. Yeah,
you're gambling
your
daily
raw balance.
Pay?
It's a raw balance.
Oh fuck! Oh, so that's what raw balance means.
Yeah.
Like it's really just your pay.
It's really real raw. It's real money.
That's fucking hardcore, dude. Yeah. That's got to be stressful.
Honestly, it's a little bit, but it's really there's so many great benefits outside the financial gain. Like it's got its own community of people, and I've met a lot of cool people from that.
So are you like, when you get your balance for the day, are you like putting some aside to make sure you still get paid for the day?
I'll only put a certain amount in just to like help me maybe not overspend sometimes. Or honestly, the more money you show right there, like that you're spending, in terms of like what you're keeping, like to like wager, it can sometimes make the audience a little wacky. They can sometimes just start saying things that they normally wouldn't say to like irritate me. So I try to like not show as much as possible.
Yep. A lot of people think that when you do gambling streams that the sites are like rigged for the stream.
Oh no.
You think it's 100%?
I know it's not. I know it's not. I know it's not. But they're not factoring that if they're a slot streamer that they're consistently doing it. So by consistently doing it, you're
going to get a max win.
You're going to increase your chances of winning.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they're not factoring in.
Yeah, a lot of people, for sure, that's accurate. A lot of people go online, they're like, dude, I gambled $200 and lost it. This shit doesn't happen. It's like, all right, well, this guy gambles 20 grand every day.
Right.
All day for 10 fucking hours.
Exactly.
Have you ever like, let's say hypothetically, you have a really bad week. You lose your raw balance like every fucking day. Could you go to stake and be like, "Yo, guys"?
You wouldn't. No, but you wouldn't. You would have to know. You would have to find like a place to not have that happen. You just have to know it's a good amount. while making it entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever felt yourself like slipping into it at all? Like, shit, I'm gambling too much.
In certain moments, but like if the chat's really enjoying it and we're having a good time, sometimes I'll bump the slots, the spins up I'll bump them up.
So one of the things too that I'm kind of interested in, I'm going to play, I guess, devil's advocate here a little bit.
Sure.
A lot of people online strongly dislike gambling streams, as you know. Like, people hate that shit.
Yeah,
I personally, like, I get that, and I kind of dislike them as well, personally, but I also think, like, people can choose whatever the fuck they watch.
That's just
if they're
the
not
way I
paying for
look
your
at it.
content, go watch something else.
I just agree with
You
it.
know?
I agree with that as well, and I also agree with like no one's telling you to like spend your whole life savings right now.
Do you feel any, like, do you think in your head sometimes, like, oh shit, maybe I got someone addicted to gambling from my content?
Honestly, I don't look at it that way. I just look at it like they like if they're browsing, you know, a slot category, then if it's not me, then it's going to be somebody else. So I just look at
They're
it like,
already looking
right,
for
they're
it anyways.
predisposed
Yeah.
to wanting to wager, so they may as well do it with me. And I'm going to make it more fun, and I'm going to take care of the best that I can, and like I want them to be a part of my community. So like, I just look at it like I don't look at it like that. And I also just view it like I don't really view it like there are addictive components to it, I guess, but I also like they allow sports betting. So like
Sports betting is so
and
fucked,
that's what I'm saying. So they like America, like they allow, and like you know what's funny? Twitch also allows other slot. They allow other providers. They just don't like stake because they're
Because of
weird.
Kick.
Yeah,
It's for sure because of Kick, yeah.
Yeah, because they're weird about that. But I'm saying they'll have the same slots on their site, just not from stake.
Yeah, I see that. They still have a slot section on Twitch.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's why I don't feel bad because
let's go on Twitch right now and pull up the fucking. Let's type it in. Twitch.tv. I don't think I can show this on the screen right now, guys.
probably not.
Oh wait, whoops. That's the. Where do you find the category? I don't really. Do I just type in slots here? All right. Well, either way, there's fucking.
It's there. I mean,
It's probably they probably bury it, huh? Let's just type in slots on the search.
yeah,
Oh,
there
here
it
we
is.
go. Yep. Immediately. Luxury girl. Oh, this is in Russian. Wait. Wait, this is botted.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
and they just let it happen.
A fake botted stream. The first result. Oh, I wish I could show you guys this.
Yeah,
but
no, it definitely is.
fuck it, we'll get
Zero
big.
followers, 100
300 viewers. Literally the first actual result
Yeah.
when you type in slots. That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
That actually kind of brings me to another thing that, from your POV as a Kick streamer, you probably know better on. A lot of people don't like Kick too. A lot of people think that Kick is like completely fake.
Yeah, it's not true. But obviously in 2025, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, every platform is got fake views
It's
on it.
bad, dude.
There's not a single one that is not like it's not happening.
Yeah,
on.
it's
like,
bad
All the
now.
big Twitch streamers, it's the worst it's ever been. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like anyone that says that is just dense. There's a lot. I mean, there's like I don't know what else to say. You just have to come to Kick to see. Like I don't know. Like obviously the site's nowhere near the size of Twitch. I mean, the site's only been out 2 years, but I mean, there's KCIP. There's ways that smaller creators can make a living from streaming in ways they never would be able to make off of Twitch.
Yeah,
ever.
I make no fucking money on my Twitch.
Yeah,
streams.
Twitch, you're not making any money unless you
pay me-
have to literally like blow up.
Bro, I average like 600 concurrent on Twitch and they pay me crumbs.
Yeah.
Like I make about what my rent is if we're not counting utilities.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
not even
and I
like-
stream 65 hours a month.
Yeah,
know?
you would make way more on Kick.
Yeah, I
Way
probably
more.
would, but
Way more.
Kick gave me my name actually. They gave me
Really?
/Goblin when they like first started, but they won't give me KCIP.
So you tried streaming on there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, sure. Well, I didn't get that many viewers on there.
Oh, okay.
I was pulling like fucking because I would multi-stream, so I would do Kick
Right,
and
right.
Twitch. So I'd have like probably 80% of my people on Twitch, and then I get like 150 to 100.
They would probably, well, yeah, maybe try out multi-streaming. Maybe that would push more
Yeah.
of the audience over.
Yeah, fuck. Streaming's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's different, dude. Yeah,
It's stressful too, because like, I mean, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but like when you take a day off, you're not gaining that passive viewership outside of clips.
no, you're losing tremendously.
Yep. Where with YouTube content, you can take.
I
A day
can't
off.
take a singular day off.
That's fucked.
If I take a day off, I'm losing so much. It wouldn't be a day off. I'd just be thinking about how am I losing this much.
So what do you do when you get burnt out?
There's some days I do take a day off, but I'll take like 5 days off a year.
Really?
6, yeah.
And just that one day off is enough for you to kind of recharge?
No, but the show must go on.
Might be time for a vacation stream,
I can't. I mean, yeah, but we'd be streaming it the whole time.
Day off, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So the last part we have here, my favorite part whenever
Let's
I have
do it.
anyone on, what comes up when I Google your name? Some controversial stuff came up.
Not good stuff.
Now, first and foremost, this one, I actually saw you mention on Twitter. You talked about how you did a collab with Fulcrum, who's someone that I know pretty well.
Dude.
And that didn't go well?
Okay. So straight up, like,
Uh-huh.
this was literally the day that I first got my kick deal. This is that day, so I remember it very well.
Exciting day.
Exciting day. So we were partying. We maybe took some legal psychedelics.
Fuck yeah.
And we asked Fulcrum, I was with my boy, we asked him if we could spend the night or spend the day or spend the night at his house because he lives like in like the projects in Oakland or something. It's just like a really bad neighborhood.
Yep.
So we thought it was cool. So we did our stream. We had insane viewership that stream. It was a great stream. And then afterwards, like we thought we were chilling and shit. And then he just like asked us to leave out of like nowhere.
Oh, shit. Just
And
like
we're
middle of the night?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, shit. After telling you that you could crash there. So then what did you do?
We drove to like a hotel or something. Like while like not trip, well, my boy Scott didn't take any, but like, no, we both did. But like he was good enough to drive. But like, yeah, we drove
So he essentially forced you guys
literally forced us out of the house
to go figure out where to sleep for the
And
night
dude,
while you're tripping.
It's the worst area. The area was so bad.
In the middle of the Oakland project.
Dude, it was so bad.
That's
Yes.
fucked up, actually.
And I'm saying like, I'm not even like trying to like hate on him. I'm just saying that was weird. I mean, his recent Twitter post before he like deactivated his account were just.
I think he's going through some mental
He's
health
probably
stuff
going through
right
some
now,
stuff.
yeah.
Right.
So I try not to like
Hold it against him type
Of
shit.
course, yeah, you know, I mean, the stuff he says lately is fucking horrible, but also like he's clearly it's not the guy that I met like 3 years ago.
Right.
You know, 3-4 years ago, for sure. Actually, no, it wasn't that long ago. It was like 2 years ago. 2.5. Doesn't matter. But that's fucked up that he'd throw you out while you're tripping like that. Have you ever talked to him about it?
No, I never have.
Really?
Yeah, because it was super off-putting. Because like it was very inconvenient. Because California around there, they're like weird hotel laws. There's all the homeless people, so like we couldn't get a hotel.
Yep.
We had to like drive far. It was AIDS as fuck. It was literally like 2 or 3 in the morning. It was
Yeah,
just,
they like close the lobbies
yeah,
early
you
and
can't
shit.
dude. It's so
Yep.
ridiculous.
They barricade them when the sun goes down.
Yeah, it's
dude.
like you're fucking a vampire or something.
So the next one that came up is you got some very generous donations, apparently,
Yeah.
from Karina Cop.
Yeah, we were relatively close at one point. I would say, sort of.
Were you guys just like friends off stream or like how so?
I mean, we would talk off stream here and there, like in Discord. Nothing crazy, just a few times. But like we'd play Fortnite multiple times a week, if not daily, for a little while. And she gave me a lot of money. And I have nothing but great things to say about her.
She just unprompted would just donate to you?
Yeah, it's over and over again.
Shout out Karina, dude.
Yeah.
Can you show her my show?
I'm sure. My first Twitter got banned, so she doesn't follow me on my new Twitter. But
No.
she was following me on my first one.
No, fuck, dude. Gotta hit her up.
Yeah, I'll try. She was really cool, and I don't know. Maybe if the stars would align another time or something. I don't know.
There you go. How'd you guys stop talking?
She stopped streaming.
That'll do it.
Yeah, she stopped streaming. She finished her Facebook contract and kind of
She started making hella money on OnlyFans, too.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
She was like, I don't remember the exact number, but she was making like
millions.
like a month, bro.
Yeah.
Like she was making 7 figures a month off that shit. God damn. I couldn't imagine that. What do you do with the 50K she donates? Like
It wasn't
that's a lot
all
of
at
money.
once. It was like throughout like a few months.
Okay.
And it might have been even a little more. I don't know. She donated a lot. I don't know. The old money I spent was on bullshit. I don't know. I don't know what I did with it. Just went away over time. It's definitely not here, but
Vanished.
it's vanished from
Gone in thin air.
Gone in thin air. Poof.
The next one that I actually watched this one as it was happening recently on my Twitter timeline is you had a pretty serious beef with DJ Scheme, who is I'm gonna butcher his name. XXX Temptation, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Tentacion? I don't know, dude. he was his former DJ before he obviously passed.
They're going to correct you on this. He actually didn't do nearly as much. And I'm not trying to sit here and like roast him again, but he didn't do nearly as much for him as like he makes it sound like, and as some of his followers make it sound like. While I didn't get defended that much, it was like a 60-40 split on Twitter between his
A lot
audience.
of people were backing
They were backing
you
me
up,
up.
dude.
But then on Reddit, it was like 99% of
Bro,
Reddit.
Reddit's not real.
They were defending me.
Really?
They were defending me on Reddit.
I thought you were about to say the opposite.
No.
I'm like, dude.
Reddit isn't really kind of real, but they were like thanking me like someone. I just felt like, dude, like I don't know. You're right. I mean, I didn't have to start it. I did start it. I was just like, bro, I'm tired of this motherfucker posting about this. Like,
I'm afraid to say how I really feel about it because the audience is going to get mad at me.
I mean,
but
you
I
can
think you were
say it.
kind of speaking facts.
I would
dude.
say it was just an elephant in the room, dude.
You were
like,
speaking some facts for sure. I mean, I think you said what a lot of people didn't want to say.
they didn't want to
about
say
the
what
guy,
it.
for
I just got
sure.
tired of it, bro. Like I'm just because like
Dude.
this whole timeline is about the shit, bro.
And that
like,
shit is cringe. Like, I think there is one
come
way to
on,
respect
bro.
your friend who's passed, you know? For
Like
sure,
you
and
taking
honor
a
him.
picture of his kid at his birthday party with just his mom. That's weird. And he'll say he's his uncle. He's not. There's no biological link at all.
Yeah.
So it's just
He's
like
an affiliate.
You literally, and not in a distant one.
Distant affiliate.
And if you look at like all of his posts, they're like all related to either Juice World or something involving X.
Yeah.
And I watched an XX documentary made by some of his closest peers, a 2-hour documentary on stream. We didn't see him one time in the whole documentary.
Wow.
How could you be that close with someone and then not be in the documentary? I was like, let the guy rest.
Bro's
I'm not
LARPing, dude.
I'm not saying don't celebrate his life. That's fine. But you're celebrating his life four times a month or
Yep.
more. And it's like almost like it just looks like you're trying to monetize it. It just looks that way. And I don't know why on that day. Because I was like, bro, leave the kid out of this. Let's leave this alone, dude.
And did you guys ever like
Yeah, he went in my
squash it?
No, not really. He went in my DMs and he fucking said he would have put the beats on me. And then I said, we'll fight whenever. I said, we'll fight on Aiden Ross's boxing car. I said, I'll do that for free. But
That
he
would
backed
be
down
an
that.
incredible
He backed down
fight.
for that. He backed down. I was on Aiden's stream live.
You were supposed to fight Brandon Herrera, weren't you?
Yes.
What happened with that?
I have a broken finger. They wouldn't let me fight.
That is a finger. Oh, is it? What happened?
Me and my dad were having a dispute, and like it was when we were moving a couch around, and like he like the couch, he like I don't want to say threw the couch at me, but he placed the couch on my hand, my finger hard, like threw it down, like on his side.
Just smashed your
Yeah,
shit?
just smashed my finger.
Oh, what the?
This was right before I moved to Cancun.
The fight up for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm just gonna be honest. That guy was gonna win for sure. Like,
Yeah. How did the
dude, my replacement got destroyed,
Oh, so you got saved that day.
saved.
You got saved.
Bro, the guy had been boxing. He's like one of those like right wing gun guys, training
Yeah.
athletic. Like, dude,
Yep.
I haven't jogged a lap in a decade. Like, what?
I'm just taking
Fight finna
ball
be
rips,
over in
dude.
3 seconds. All right, I'm fatigued.
What do they pay you for that kind of shit? Like,
Dude,
what was your offer?
I was not good.
Really?
It was not good.
Really?
Not good.
I'm imagining for those kind of like
No, that's why it's
influencer
kind
events.
that's kind of why it's sort of a dying thing, like low key.
yeah. I mean, I think like
It's hard to get people to do it. You got to find like
the
scrappy
people-
amateurs without
the bar
followers.
keeps getting lower
Yeah.
for who they're
You
like.
got to get scrappy amateurs. Like no guy with like a sizable following is wanting to get in that ring unless it's probably something 6 figures.
I did just watch some really skinny kid get beat up by a midget though.
Yeah,
At
the
one of
Aiden Ross
events.
card.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, the one that just
Yeah,
happened.
that's entertaining.
I
Yeah,
saw
that's
that clip
good.
on Twitter. That shit is heat,
Yeah,
dude.
but I'm saying if you want to get like big guys to fight, like that's just very hard to do.
Yeah, not happening.
Yeah.
Not happening. So the next one that I found is you had a little dispute with Amaranth.
It wasn't a dispute.
She described you as a crackhead.
Yeah, but I mean, look,
I guess, did she lie?
in today's date, yes, but I guess back in the day, no. That was like, yeah, I don't know. I present myself in a way where maybe that's just the easiest word for people to call me. So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really care about it, especially when they call me a because I never really smoked that much. Just a reasonable amount. But like
Just a fair bit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like Kate. Kate's cool. Just, we streamed together. So that's where it was from. We did a stream and someone like said a donation that was upsetting. I'm not sure if that was like related to that, but I mean, I don't know the exact relation to that when I got called the crackhead, but sure it's just one of my trolls in her chat baiting her, which they're super good at. So
Yep.
I mean,
That is the way it goes.
that's the way it goes.
The last controversy that I wanted to bring up, but certainly not the least.
There's way more than this too. By the
Oh,
way.
I know there is. I left off some of the ones that are going to lose us our ad revenue for sure.
Yeah, that's how bad it can get, guys.
No, there's a lot more. I encourage you all to actually
Yeah,
go
go
do
for
your
it. Yeah,
research.
do your research.
Type in Ac7ionman on Google and have fun at looking at all the stuff we couldn't talk about today. Because we got to keep the lights on here.
Right.
But last but not least, you got banned from TwitchCon, and
Dude.
not just banned, you got like pressed by the security and
Dude,
shoved out. Basically,
This was for, obviously, they know I'm a polarizing figure on Kick, so that was
Mm-hmm.
obviously a factor into it.
Were you streaming on Kick when that
Yes.
happened?
I was streaming on
Okay,
Kick.
yeah.
But the offense was that I like took my wine glass because people kept walking up to me, and I love that, but I'm saying I just wasn't trying to draw attention to where that was happening so much while I was drinking. So I brought the wine glass into like some side area, and they like caught me there, I guess, and I wasn't supposed to do that. That was what they
That's
said.
not the actual reason they
No.
kicked you out. That's not why.
And
they
then I
kicked
got banned for a week on Twitch after that.
Yeah, they for sure just kicked you out because you're
Yeah.
on Kick.
But I was very respectful, and I don't know what they think of me. I just know their impressions of me are just not good.
Yeah, they 100%, I'd imagine, have like a team of staff that are on Kick
Yeah.
looking for TwitchCon streams, and then they just stalk them, waiting
Dude,
for
that
a
was
reason.
Yeah, I got pressed. That clip actually did pretty well on TikTok and YouTube or whatever.
Well, I'm not banned on Twitch. Dude, it's actually funny. I made my Twitch account to try to get banned. Like it was called, it was like Goblin Twitch Speedrun. And I streamed like a porn game. Like I streamed one of those like fucking hentai games. Got banned for a week. I thought they were going to perm me. And then that's actually what made me start streaming. I didn't get banned, but I had a Twitch. And I was like, oh, I'll try the streaming
you
thing.
go.
It's hard though, dude.
It's very hard.
hard.
It's not for everyone.
I couldn't do it, dude. I really couldn't do what you do, bro.
It's tough, bro. I'm pretty burnt out, if we're being honest. I'm pretty...
Take a little break.
No. Like, I'm good right now. I'm just like, in
No,
general.
I mean, in general, dude.
Can't.
After we're done shooting, go book a little trip, dude.
I can't. I just can't.
Have you ever tried like doing more long form or YouTube stuff?
Not with effort. I got too lucky with the Kevin shit, but I definitely am going to, like, in the future.
You should, dude.
I
It's a nice
definitely
way to
do.
space it out.
No, 100%. It's just, I don't want to half-ass it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
Yep. YouTube's a lot of effort for sure. I feel like streams, like you have to get ready though now.
Yeah, you have to
Plan
plan
and
them.
prepare,
Yeah,
yep.
prepare them. Yeah.
And if shit goes wrong, you got to improvise on the spot.
Yes,
too.
which is... I'm really good at that, and that happens actually a pretty good amount of time. That's what a lot of streamers have a problem doing. You know what I mean?
Figuring it out on the spot. That shit's tough.
Hell
It's
yeah.
tough.
It is hard, dude.
For everyone watching at home, where can they find you at?
They can find me at kick.com/AC7ionman.
Yup.
All my socials are the same thing, AC7ionman, except my X account, which is one extra N, but if you type it in, you'll find it still.
We'll throw it all up on screen for you guys. You know the drill. Is there anything else you want to say before we dip out?
That's about it. I know this is pretty long. I appreciate you guys listening
Pretty
to
good
me.
episode, yeah.
I
How
hope you
long-
guys had a good
Where are
time.
we? Let's find out.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 hours, 25, 48.
Holy shit. I didn't know
Bang,
it was going to
boom,
be this
pow.
long.
That's money. This has
Well,
been a great episode.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love y'all. Thank you for supporting me. If you guys are new, I hope you can give me a chance. If not, it was still great letting me talk to y'all. Really appreciate you, man, for having me as always, dude.
Of course. Bro.
Hopefully we could.
Sorry for slamming your
No,
elbow
that was
there.
good. That was good. We can't shake. I'm weak. But yeah, man, I'd love to. Maybe one day we could do like hang out, do like.
Let's
whatever.
run it, dude.
Let's run it, bro. I'm
Let's
down
run
for
it.
whatever.
I'm always game, dude. Hit me up.
Let's go, dude.
Pull back up in a few months, too. We'll
I
check
got
in or
you.
something.
All right, bet.
All y'all watching at home, thank you for supporting and watching to the very end. You're all great people. Drop a like, drop a sub, go tap in with Ac7ionman on all his platforms. We'll have links in the comments and on screen, so you should know where to go by now. Thank you all for watching. I don't know what episode number, I couldn't fucking tell you, but maybe I'll know next week. I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces.
You're now watching the Gobcast. Viewer discretion is advised. You can now watch the Gobcast in 4K uncensored exclusively on Spotify.
I got swatted at the Trump rally.
It's like you go to these businesses to stream and you're leaving like a path of wreckage.
Just destruction.
behind you.
Homeless people that like have had shit in my house during a swatting.
Wait, why do you have homeless people in your house when you're getting?
Because I make stupid ass content.
You were, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were a homeless heroin addict at one point in your life.
Yeah, I was actually.
18?
By 19, I was a full-blown heroin addict.
Easy.
I used to panhandle in front of the Rock and Roll McDonald's in Chicago. That was one of my spots.
It's a nice McDonald's.
Beautiful McDonald's. I was making $300 a day some days. Panhandling.
Really?
Dude, I was a beast.
Do you remember what your like peak day was, like highest income?
Yeah, I got like $1,000 in one day.
And you were making enough to live out of the hotel too.
Yeah, I was selling heroin. I go to the blood pressure machine.
Oh my god.
I put that on my arm. I go, and then I go to do it, and then the nurse walks in again, and I freak out, and I throw the needle on the ground. So we're riding around with a bunch of guns and drugs in Chicago, and then I see the cops pulling up right there. So they're still in the car. I have the dope in my hand, and I just start shoving it in my ass as fast as I can.
Penetration?
Yeah, 3 2-year sentences ran concurrently.
That's horrible.
With boot camp.
You were supposed to fight Brandon Herrera, weren't you?
Yes.
You had a little dispute with Amaranth.
It wasn't a dispute.
She described you as a.
Yeah, I don't want to get this channel demonetized.
It's all right. You know, we could just bleep stuff.
They were smoking.
Pookie.
They
Yeah.
were
Oh,
shooting
lit.
at her.